It should be. I think I've done almost 3,600 articles. How can I change this? How can I make it look like it's an English word? We have cleanliness, godliness, Wakajuaness. Boss, blogging is not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah.
I'm productive, my friend.
So this is the first time.
Nakumbuka mpaka hiyo handwriting ameandika in red letter. Nakumbuka tu just Brian, anaruka one page, one line, and kia baba yako barua, full stop. That's how I came up with the no quitting online campaign. Basically to tell people that however life pushes you to the wall.
Yes.
Don't quit. So I will tell that kid, live your life. Me nilikuwa naishi, accept your life. Accept your nature. Don't live any other person's life.
Welcome to the Time Lapse. Today I have an amazing guest, a renowned blogger. Western Kenya, Bungoma, Western Kenya, and I think even the entire country. You're one of the renowned bloggers in the country, man.
Country.
Tukianza kuhesabu some of the biggest names in the blogosphere, I believe you're one of those names that cannot miss to be mentioned. So I have on set Mr. Elvis Simiyu, aka Brian, aka Wakajuaness.
Who told him I'm Brian? Do I look like Brian?
Sasa, Brayo.
Yeah, partner.
Brayo.
Oh, it's my name like in
Why did you drop Brayo?
Okay.
Cause you hata nimejaribu kukutumia pesa itafika. By the time namaliza production
Are you serious?
Nimekutumia do.
Can I confirm the message?
No, you wait to finish the story first.
Nikianza when I was still young. Okay, that's my name.
Yes.
As a child. But now I dropped that name.
Yes.
Because I used that name throughout my primary school.
Yes.
But when I repeated class 8,
okay.
I didn't have school fees to go to Form 1.
Yes.
So when I changed, there was this rumor that if you use the same name,
yes.
then either the examination will throw you out,
okay,
and they'll block you. So there was that fear. So I had to. But again, on my birth certificates,
yes,
my birth certificates, I have Elvis Simiyu.
No,
my
right.
birth certificates. So Brian, I think, is a name that I was given by my mom and family and all that. So it's a name that I grew up with.
Yeah.
So when I was now doing my second KCPE at Kisiwa Primary School,
yes,
and when that fear came, then I had to change the name. So I went back to initial Elvis. So I was born Elvis, but I don't know. I have never done a research to know how this Brian came from. I came up with that, how it escalated to whichever.
Ama kuna mtu alikuwa na miss Tuji, alikuwa na babika na mtu anaitwa Brian na akaamua.
So that happened, and now that's the difference between Brian and so when I came to high school,
yeah.
I think I just continued with what I was during my second KCP.
Okay. Okay. That's good. So hata sijamaliza kusema mambo yote unafanya. Tumesema tu blogger na ikaenda. So I want to tell Time Lapsers what else you do. You double up as a director of communications at Bungoma Superstars. It's a local iko kwa nini? Local football team na iko kwa nini? Iko kwa
division third tier. Third tier.
Okay. How are they doing with it?
No, they're doing well. Our season ended last weekend but won, and yes. We finished number 4.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we didn't get an opportunity to get a promotion to the second, to the upper league.
Okay.
So that means we are to repeat it. We will repeat class 8. We are to repeat. My God, man.
So, as a superstar, Sabenu, director of communications, also he doubles up as the personal assistant to one of our aspirants. For member of parliament Kandui constituency, right?
No,
one Mr. Wycliffe Wesley Wepolu.
True.
Right? Hapo ndo swali ya kwanza inaanzia.
Hapo kwa Wepolu.
Hapo kwa Wepolu tu hapo. So as his PA, Mr. Elvis, na wewe you are a newsman of sorts, hakuna nini? Hakuna partisanship. Hautaweka stories zake mingi kwa mtandao yako kuliko za other aspirants?
Imagine I don't even do that.
Okay.
I give it to other people to do it. I try to avoid the exaggeration kwamba because I'm his personal assistant. Mheshimiwa Wycliffe Wesley Wepokolo is a nice guy, and when he called me in Nairobi, nikachukua flights, alipia kila kitu, just come to Nairobi, we talk.
All right.
And we sat down.
Yeah.
Tukaongea for almost 9 days in Nairobi.
All right.
And we discuss about his journey here and there. And, I normally do e-consultancy.
Yes.
Public relations and communication consultancy to corporate as well as politicians and different other clients.
Yes.
And I listened to him. Na nikaona he's making sense. He's so passionate about the youth and all that. And, inspiring the youth, the youth generation.
Yes.
So when you ask me now, just do those logistics background, pave way, for me to come, just lay the ground for me to come and pounce on it, and then I will declare that we're interested in this rise.
Yeah.
And I accepted, and so to me, my imagination was just help him, lay the ground for him, give him publicity and all that, then continue doing our own things.
Yeah.
But he had other intentions, but he thought otherwise. He told me, bro, should I look for another, for a new personal assistant that doesn't believe in my dream? What you have told me, what you have written down for me, what you have laid down for me, I think is enough. Can you just remain as my personal assistant? So I tried to figure out how am I going to balance. But again, through prayers and all that, and everything became okay. Okay. And here we are.
But you understand where I'm coming from with that question, though, right?
Yes.
You understand that if I was another aspirant for the same constituency, na nione maybe hata deservedly tu, mimi nataka kuwa nawania kiti ya member of parliament kwa Kandui. Na sawa mliniona Antonius nikichoma, lakini the fact that wewe PA wa Wepokolo ndio umeandika hiyo story itatoka na umeni expose vibaya. Like yes, it's a story you would have written either way, whether wewe ni PA wa Wepokolo or not. But just the fact that you are his PA na ime break kwa nini yako, kwa website yako. Wakajuaness na Wepokolo nataka kunimaliza. I swear that will be my rejoinder. Now, so how do you balance that kind of
now one thing
approach,
I ride on
as
an individual in my blogging career, let me call it a career, is that I drive on credibility.
Okay.
And many people have followed me. People trust my stories, trust my writings, trust my news because of credibility. So whether I have some affiliation or I look like I have some affiliation,
personal relation,
but trust me, whatever I write is always, so it brings something, it escalates something in the community, in the mindset. So coming back to your question is, of course they will ask so many questions.
Yes.
But you remember, not just even about Mheshimiwa Wycliffe Wepokolo. In 2022, I was the Azimio president, youth president, Bungoma County.
Okay.
Again, as a blogger, you see, as a news writer. So, politics about interests.
Yes.
Interest for the people, for yourself, and also but mostly for the community, for my people. What do I expect from my people? How do I expect my people to sustain their lives and careers and education and any other socio-economic projections? You see. Yes. So, of course, politics, you can never be too good in politics.
Yeah.
So expect those criticisms to come from, to come up and to pop up.
All right. I understand. So you're easily one of the most, kwa sakoli yangu. Hey, bwana, you are one hell of a consistent person,
Thank you.
And I just have to give you your flowers live on camera, mazee. Like kama kuna mtu kama sijai kuambia in person, but nanuanga balozi. But sasa kukuambia tu bro, you are one hell of a consistent writer. You picked this thing up, I think, was it 2015 or 2016?
It was 2016. I started 2016.
Yes.
2015, I think I was working for a Christian newspaper, digital newspaper.
Yes.
But then things happen. Companies come up and then they disappear. And, I think you know the story.
Yes.
Maybe for the viewers next time in the course of this conversation.
Yeah.
So seriousness started in 2016 in the middle. Made 2016 up to now. I think I've never stopped.
I have two questions about this. Do you even remember the first story you ever put up on that website? Because I tried to look for it in Kachoka. There were so many stories. I wanted to ask you, I wanted to shine with it, but nilitafuta paka mimi
But
Kachoka.
trust me.
Yes. Do you even remember the first story you ever?
There are 3 stories.
Yes.
One, I wrote a story about how to come up with Maza, I don't remember.
I thought so. Because you've written stories.
I've done
covered
over,
organizations.
I've done over. I think there's an app I will check.
Yes.
It has those bots to
Yes.
show you
Yes.
how many you have published on the check websites under your name, and it should be. I think I've done almost 3,600 articles. That's the minimum.
You have a lot of words within you.
Do you know 3,000 an article you are doing not less than because my policy in publication, I should at least do 9 paragraphs.
Okay.
So 9 paragraphs times 3,600 articles. Crazy, man.
Yes, that's
so I'm used to.
Last time we were having this conversation, I think when the first time you ever gave me your story, when I was also an upcoming blogger, now I'm an upcoming vlogger. The first time you ever trusted me with your story, I think you were estimating your traffic to be around 100,000 visitors per month. What are you currently doing right now? What are your stats currently looking like?
It hasn't gone so much because at one time I fell victim to hackers and all that.
Okay.
They really messed me up.
Okay.
So I had to, you remember I started with Wakajuaness.com.
Yes.
Then they messed me up again.
So you lost that URL?
I lost that URL.
Yes.
So I switched to
Wakajuaness
the first
Live.
Wakajuaness.com had double S. Wakajuaness has double S.
Mm-hmm.
I think I will explain what Wakajuaness means, how I came up with that brand later on. So Wakajuaness has double S.
Syllabus mbio sana. I got you. I got you.
Yes. Regulation, eh?
Yes.
Thank you for the traffic police officer.
Yes.
Now, so when I lost the first URL,
Yeah.
I switched to. I didn't want to lose that thing, Wakajuaness. I'm so in love with it. I love that thing. I love it a lot.
Yeah.
So I just switched to Wakajuaness with the 1 S, but it wasn't making sense to me. It wasn't making sense to me at all. But I just pretended to be working with it. So I changed, and fortunately, I think I retrieved that database. So I transferred all the former articles, we call them files, to this new URL, Wakajuaness with the single S at the end, .com. So then, when a chance or opportunity came for me to now get back to repossess my Wakajuaness with the double S, then I transferred from a single S to
back again to the other.
But trust me, the one with double S had huge. I think I remember one day I posted a story, and within 39 minutes it had 643 readers, 643,000 readers, not 600. Yes, that's just say 0.6 million. But then that story was at night.
Okay.
So sometimes you're just tired. Let me just post. You publish, then you go sleep. So you're having a lot of calls, messages. The phone is ringing, ting, 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 ting. Messages, Telegram, WhatsApp, Twitter, DMs, all of that. What is happening?
Nani, bro?
No, it was a very stupid story. Don't even. People have stupid. By the way, in blogging, people have stupid stories.
Yes.
Come up with this genuine story. No one will listen to it. No one will even read you. So I think Google has what you call SEO. So the more you have traffic, the more, just like Facebook as well, the more you have traffic, the more it even advertises you.
So it pushes your website even to more readers. Huh?
Yeah,
suggests it actually, yes.
Yeah. So when I went back to my Wakajuaness with the double S, so I started regaining my traffic.
Okay.
Though not wholly, but at least I started seeing fruits. Then again, something happened. Pop. Again. Because these hackers, what they do, they monitor you. They have their own bots and whatever they do. So again, wakanipata. Pop. Kapiga kichwa. So I was actually depressed in that 1 to 3 weeks. So I talked to my hosting provider, but they told me I was hosting from abroad.
Yeah.
They told me, we have tried to retrieve your files, but unfortunately, you're not. Anyway, it was an internal thing. Sometimes, bring people to the website to give them accounts. You'll be running this page.
They are able to
but someone can use them and compromise them. So I think they leaked my credentials out.
Yes.
That's how...
so one of your people locked you out of your own website?
One of my people has. They locked me. Not they locked, but they... There's just some small codes you give. Then someone deletes everything. Long story. So it was unretrievable.
Okay.
All the energy, all the sacrifice, the passion that I've had for that, the anticipations, the projections, each and everything just went into the soil like that. So I said, now what do I do? Do I stop blogging and do something else, or what? Because when you look at my history as Wakajuaness, I started with it from high school. Wakajuaness ni mtu wakajua, yani watu walikuwa naita shule, wewe ni wakajua sana, ulijuaje hii story, So I thought of, how can I change this? How can I make it look like it's an English word? We have cleanliness, godliness, Wakajuaness.
So ukaongeza hiyo suffix Wakajuaness.
And the suffix makes sense. Pop! So hata kiti yangu ilikuwa imeandikwa hapa nyuma. High school unajua kuna vile unapenda kwa ndio isipote.
Yes.
So it used to be called Wakajuaness.
So that's how it
So when I came out, nikaanza kuwa very active on Twitter. I was one of the very first people to
from this region
to get 500 followers on Twitter. Then the second person I think was Honorable Speaker Moses Wetangula.
Then Amerix
was nowhere. He was having around 84.
I think I went to
actually, I'm the one who
introduced Amerix to Twitter.
Yes, that was 2011? It should be 2011 or 2009. Around there, yeah.
Amerix to me, Wakajuaness is a cabbage, boy. This is your camera. I'm Amerix actually is a cabbage.
Bro, senior. But of course, he will watch it. So that's how the brand Wakajuaness came. So I loved writing. Like one of the biggest, the most emotional aspects that I was trying to drive on was I just love writing something, then people reading. I really enjoy it. Yeah. So it was never about commercializing it. Okay. I never knew that I would commercialize it. So I said, why am I writing?
You are actually technically answering my next question, which was what has kept you going through all these years? And thankfully, thank you, keep going.
Just that way. I just love writing and people reading. Just imagine I've written a story and people are reading and they're commenting and they're sharing.
Yes. Feels good.
Some of them who don't even know you.
Feels good, eh? And they are quoting you.
They're quoting you. Yes. Na umekaa tu hapo hata labda hata una cabbage hiyo siku vile umesema America nunua cabbage hapo.
Lakini wewe maneno zako zina fly across the country.
You feel so. People ask, so parents are, hey, when do mandika is so tumeambiwa. By the way, when I started blogging on that name Wakajuaness, people didn't know that I'm Wakajuaness because nilikuwa natumia fake profile. I was just working, and it was so easy for me to even collect data and intelligence. Unaenda tu nakaa pale, tumekaa wananyonya vitu zao. Then you also sit there. So kuna kijana hapa ameandika anaitwa Wakajuaness. Ameandika kitu poa sana.
Yes.
Aienda melima hiyo story na ameexpose. Na ajue atembe vizuri sana, hao jamaa watamtafuta. And we're just there.
Bwana, kwani umeangalia script yangu? What the hell?
I'm also a host.
Okay, interesting. Because now I was actually going to ask you, speaking of the exposés, some of these groundbreaking stories that you break, some of them target high-profile people from this region and across the country, and some of them are unhappy. Ndugu, ugopi kutembea magizani ama, I mean, what... Aren't you afraid of your safety? Ama what keeps you motivated to just jump in darkness like
first,
that? Yes.
I grew up in a very humble situation and environment.
Yes.
And I grew up as someone who, if you ever make a mistake, hata kutoa tu charge tu ya mtu fulani weke yako, that's a crime. And it was like, so when I started blogging, I had that fear.
Yes.
And sometimes you'll write stories, people, bully you. You know how people bully you online. So we go back to the house, you freeze. But then one of my friends, to Cyprian Nyakundi,
Okay, brother.
The biggie boss.
Yes.
Yeah, Nyakundi at one time actually encouraged me and told me, hey boss, mimi nimetusiwa mara mingi and you think you follow me. In fact, wakakutusiwa ndo na trend. Enjoy it, man.
Yes.
So see the positives in those negativities.
Nothing like negative press.
Because now you go silent in 2, 3, 4 days, 1 week, 1 year, 2, 3. Then what happens to you? So that thing is there. Then also it pumps sense into me that you know, life, there's no profession that is very safe.
Yes.
Even teachers are just being killed. You know, the other one in Mumias recently went to withdraw 200,000 in a bank.
Yeah.
Then she was shot dead, and the thugs left with the money.
Yes.
That story still under investigation.
I heard that story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mumias. And we talk about, you talked about even doctors. You know, we saw COVID. Many of them died, you know.
Yes, in line of duty, yes.
In line of duty.
Yes.
We have officers in security departments, police officers, even national intelligence or officers. You see the DCIs, you go to, you know, a thug just shoots you dead, you know.
Yes, yes.
You come to...
Fair point, actually, fair point, yes.
Even prostitutes died. In line of duty.
Unageuza nyama, unageuka nyama mwenyewe.
Sorry for that, I'm just... My apologies.
Savage. Okay.
So, the essence is, I don't think if there's any profession that's safe. You know, you can die anywhere.
Wherever you are, things can.
Yeah,
and so even life itself is not assured.
Life is
But one would argue when you are poking the honest nest, man.
So coming back to that question is, I think it gave me courage nikasema whatever happens, happens.
Okay.
And because life.
So you made peace with it and.
It happened. Masiwa menufuata mara mingi. The story is all over on Google. You Google Wakajuaness a survives assassination attempt, you will see it. Yeah, Nyakundi wrote that story. I think several other publishers wrote that story. I know that. Recently, you saw one of the aides of one of the politicians around, you know, threatening me.
Yeah, I was actually literally there. I witnessed it live, and I was like, I even called him aside and said, brother,
no good. So it has shown me to be courageous.
Yeah.
Boss, blogging is not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah.
You see, I also do investigations, right?
Yeah.
You go to someone's office, just set up. He has been accused of, you know, maybe damaging someone's life.
Yeah.
You've made a call, anakuambia kuja. Ukifika hapo tu ukwambia, boss, I know what you have come to. Jamaa anatoa naeka hapo machine yake.
As an intimidation tactic.
Yeah, to show you, mbona hiyo? Yeah.
Time lapses by machine anamaanisha gun. Just so we clear. Okay.
Hapa sema boss, msemaji. Kwanza is very friendly. Kofiti, kunyako drink yangu bwana hapa, nachukua nasema, but see, it's a setup. So naangalia, it looks nice, Yani to show him or her that of course, you know, I don't trust this setup, you know.
Yes. Yes, you're not.
Yeah, but you also, because of the courage that you have, it is one. I can show you where you can get some others, you know, and to show them that
connections.
Connections. Yeah, you just try to, you know, be creative and do something.
Yeah.
About creativity, kuna zenye truth iko, ukweli iko.
Yeah.
And imenisaidia sana for me to, you know, to turn those negatives into, they help me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing about me is that through that, you know, when you're a good blogger or a publisher, you're doing good stories that inspire the community. You see, I don't just do negative stories as well. Yeah. I also mark people's businesses. I also highlight situations. You know, there's a medical appeal somewhere it's needed.
Yes.
You highlight, you mobilize people to finance. You know, they need around 2-3, family needs 200,000, 300,000 to treat their kin or to take their child to school. And you come in, they request you mobilize through your resources. You call these leaders. They come, they fundraise almost 200,000, 300,000. You have saved. So that people will see positives in us.
Yeah.
And they have made self-declaration kwamba if you mess this boy, trust me, we shall be with you.
So the community is actually your biggest asset and security.
Wewe peke yako tu huwezi fanya kijana aumie, then the whole community umie, and just because you don't like whatever he has written.
Kutembea kwa
And there have been evidences here and there. There are people who tried to mess me up, and they have backpedaled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of...
So I was saying, when I started, I was a very slim guy. Slim to mean not... Of course, yes, I was slim.
Yes.
But I was timid.
Yeah, okay.
I was timid and... kuna hala waga kidogo.
But eventually you grew your own courage
and you also meet friends and you meet who is the good and the bad ones.
Yes.
And they're supporting you. Kwambia wewe enda wacha mtu akufanyia kitu. Just press a call. So some of those who have made a lot of intimidations here and they are threatening you and they umenipata.
Yeah. So you've gained the courage and then you're more bolder and you can break any story that needs to be broken.
And then I don't work with protection in town, but I have protection. You won't see it.
Amen to that. Endelee kukufunika kila siku hiyo
protection yako. From God and then human as well.
Okay.
Hata watu wanauliza ukajenza, how do you work in town peke yako tu? Don't you fear anything? But then again about blogging is that kuna challenge moja ya blogging, and I will actually try to tell my fellow bloggers and the upcoming, specifically the upcoming. You see, I've been in this industry for almost now, let me say 2016 to now is almost 9 years,
9 years, yes.
But I'm surviving. In Kibukusu, we have a saying that when you see a gazelle...
Seme kwa Kibukusu.
Novonechisi musuru yako fule. Manyori ye...
novonechisi musuru yako fule. Ukiona gazelle kwa msitu, imekuwa mzee.
Ukiona gazelle mzee kwa msitu, jua imehepa mikuki mingi. When you see an old gazelle in a bush, just know that it has escaped a lot of, arrows and bows and all that. Basically, to mean, we have had a lot of attacks towards us, but we're still surviving. So why are we still surviving? Some of us still surviving is because, for me, when I started this blog, I didn't know that it will one day turn into a hustle, income generating activity, self-employment. So until one day naandika story jamaka, just picking up stories naangalia na jamaa amesema nani ameandika hii story, it's marketing my company, can you make a call to him or her?
So you did a story and it's just in the
my first gig. Okay, that guy gave me 30,000 shillings.
Where?
My first, and for the first time for me to monetize from my blog.
Okay, interesting.
So I was like,
2016 ni pesa mzuri,
my friend. Na kali nisukuma hiyo time hauna job.
Yes.
So by then nikakuja nikapata shenanigans job. Shenanigans we shall talk about it. So when I realized that you can monetize this thing, then it has kept me going. Now from that, my initial inspiration is not about the money. It's about doing something that people can read. So that one we cannot avoid it, right? We cannot avoid it.
You have to give something for you to take.
Yes, I love it. So money comes second to me.
Yes.
So at no particular time have I ever prioritized money to blogging.
Okay.
So coming back to my fellow bloggers who are coming up, there's this thing called blackmail. You're working for this particular leader, ukienda huko usiku, you are going to this particular leader, you are going to this particular leader. So the three feel insecure. So they say, jamaa ama amechukua my information, kama if he is going to give me information about this particular leader, so what has he told the other person? And maybe some of them are very crucial informations.
So you advise others to stick with one leader?
Just be you.
If you're working...
Yeah, if you're doing about a particular truth, please just project with it. Just go with it, run with it. But don't be, blackmailing people. I've seen some leaders or some writers.
Or where you seem like you're someone's watchdog ama
Wewe niko na story yako bwana.
Okay.
Na wakati ni ukweli, maybe ni ukweli ama niko na story yako bro. Able leta 50,000 ama nitakulipa ni mbaya. So the guy goes into panic mode, then gives you the money or sends you the money or sends someone to give you the money. Then after 3-4 weeks you pesa automation, then again you're making call, you're blackmailing with another, because unajua huyu jamaa kumbuka press hapa hivi anaenda kutoa. So you come with another press button, So how will that guy feel? Atasema, should I live my rest of 40-50 years just giving this guy 50,000?
That's a practice people do in your world.
People do.
Okay.
But not me.
So Okay, interesting. Very interesting. What is we shall get back to Wakajuaness, but I'm eager to know, what is your earliest memory of you tinkering dabbling in writing creativity anything close to writing? What is the earliest memory you remember? What is the closest association? Najua vile wanasemanga ati mtoto alikuwa anapenda kuhesabu pesa, now he's a banker a businessman. What is the earliest memory you have of you doing anything close to blogging? Not necessarily blogging, but media per se.
Media per se. When I was growing up with my uncle called Uncle Jacob Kibochei, when he sent me an M-Pesa message, you'll see Kibochei coming in the middle of that Elvis Simiyu.
Yes.
My uncle used to read, he loved the newspapers.
This is the brother to your mother?
Yeah.
Okay.
The eldest uncle to my mom. My mom follows him, I think, twice.
Okay.
Or thrice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Twice. So, he could come, we are in the village, so he could come, every time he comes to town, he will come with the newspaper.
Okay.
So maybe I read some pages, so he comes to home. I was the first person to go get his bike.
Okay.
That was my point. Like, when I see him coming from the far end, unajua village inakuanga kubwa. Mtu akikuja kuboma kwa gate huko namuona tu. Then you start running.
Yeah.
So unachoma hiyo gazeti, hiyo career bicycle, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, you unfold it, you pop it out, then now you start pushing the bike out, you share some stories. Hey, uncle, how is town? Nini? So I started reading. I would literally read each and every page.
Okay.
There's some English ilikuwa inanipita kidogo, but I just loved.
How old do you estimate this was?
2000. Let me just say, from age of 9.
Okay.
I loved reading newspapers.
All right.
And I fell in love with, I could literally know how the next newspaper would look like. Hata nilikuwa najua Sunday Nation, I think Sunday Nation mekuja juzi. But I could know who is going to be the columnist for the next
kumeshika pakata columnists na
yes, Mutahi the late Whispers. Yeah, mimi nilikuwa nasoma wale man.
Yes, he was an interesting reader.
Yeah, it was a very. So nikaanza ku fall in love na mimi kama when I grow up, I think I want to be an editor.
Okay.
Igina editor ilikuwa ni bam.
I
love that thing one. Editor looked like
cool one.
Yeah, it was like kama I want to be an editor. I didn't even want to be a journalist.
Okay.
Nitaka tu kuwa editor. Ukikuwa mkubwa utakuwa I want to be a news editor.
For real, that is something you wanted to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a news editor.
I think you're the first person. I've listened to a lot of aspirational things, but I've never heard anyone wanting to be an editor. You're one of a kind of that one.
So nilikuwa nafanya research napigia naongea na nini. So editor kazi yake anafanya nini? The work of editor is to, collect those news articles, go through, approve, then send it for publication.
Okay.
So kumbe mimi naweza kaa tu pale watu wanaleta stories, I go through, then I verify the story, then it get published. That's the job I want to do.
Okay.
So pale nikaanza kuwa in love na English. Nikaanza kuandika very nice composition. Me primary school au ungenishinda composition.
Okay.
Out of what I was doing 37, 36.
Wewe, imagination ilikuwa.
Na nilikuwa na mwalimu fulani hapa alikuwa Mr. Nuru.
Mr.
Nuru.
Okay.
Mwalimu Nuru Musa angenipata nimepata 32 viboko ngelimwa.
Umeanza kuwa mshenzi.
Wewe ni wa kwanza mwenye amekufuata kuna 27. You are doing 32 lakini viboko utakula.
Yes. Umeanza kudrop.
He doesn't like it. Na yeye mwenyewe amemark. Hata sometimes anakuanda mark tu pata hiyo 32 ndo mlimani na viboko next. So when I was in class 5, mimi ndo nilikuwa napeana, nowadays we call them motivation speeches or something like that.
Yes.
So I used to go to class 8 and give them motivation talks on how to write a very good composition about crime, about dreams, about
In class 5 you are inspiring class 8.
Sasa kama yangu ndio walikuwa natumia wanaita unaeka wakichapa viboko am there.
Hii shule ilikuwa gani? Kibichori primary ama
Kisiwa primary school.
Kisiwa. Watu wa time lapses wa Kisiwa. Hebu mu verify history.
Yes,
huyu jamani zawada tufunika hapo.
No. Tulikuwa hapa na head teacher alikuwa anaitwa Mr. Jestmo.
Yes.
Mwalimu Jestmo Baraza. I look for that name. Your time. Alikuwa my friend. So walikuwa nalimu, how can such a young boy class 5 anaandika such nice English. Na wewe class 8 unafanya tu walikuwa nitanga matolindo ni hii mambo sijui matope and you got it's an ugly name matolindo. It sounds bad.
Yeah, it sounds
so nikaanza kuwa na ile nikapenda tu English, nikaenda class 8. So when I went to high school hapo Bungoma High School nikaanza kuandika. So literally I will write, nilikuwa naandika tu on a page like this one, naandika tu handwritten. Una design a newspaper page vile iko. Profile pic ya the writer unaweka pale, unachora tu some cartoon, you write the author, unaweka profile yake pale, unaandika by, so you write a story about a particular topic, then I go hang on the notes board. So watu wakikuja they just read the story. Now I was a good reader because in library I could go read. So when you read a newspaper today, you can anticipate what's going to be published tomorrow.
It opens up your imagination.
It opens up your imagination. So I'll literally go whatever I written yesterday. Wangeiona kwa newspaper. So watu kaanza kuita Wakajuaness. That's how it came to. And then after high school nikaanza kupenda tena mamba. I've told you I was a sub editor for some Christian magazine. It's called the Church Bless. .co.ke. It went into smoke as well, but it gave me some good training. I went for so many workshops and all that, and nikasema, now why am I helping other people to write articles
when you can do your own? We'll get back to that. So now I was trying to come to a point. So now throughout my research, you know, unajua lazima tufanye homework. Hata ulinipea manamba za watu wenye walikuwa nakwambia, my friend, kwani kumeendaje bwana? It is very clear, and even through our earlier initial story, it is very evident that your childhood was not a normal childhood. Yeah, you grew up in the village, and you were raised by your grandmother, right? So before you even tell us a bit about your childhood, I just want to see, do you have any fond memory? Kunafaa kuwe na kitu tu kamoja tu hata like some, I know the childhood was a bit rough and everything, but do you have any fond memory of you growing up during your stay with your grandmother, say year 1 to like 12 years, like that? Do you have like a fun?
I have
fond. Just pick one. Give me highlight.
Now, this highlight
cream of the cream.
It's very emotional, but very hilarious. So one day, I leave school, coming back home.
Yes.
There's no food, there's no nothing. Unaangalia meko like there's no hakuna. Kwa na brother yangu kadogo kanaitwa Edwin.
Bro, kwa hii ni fond memory.
Ngoja. So one day
lazima kuna meko imenini hivi bwana. Okay.
So nikatoka kufika hapo, my grandma was like, enda utafuta maji.
Okay.
You are doing like almost 2 kilometers.
Hii ni lunch time mama jioni?
Jioni.
Okay.
Okay. You know, you fetch water for almost, so you have to, because at that age you are still young, you cannot do more than 5 liters.
Okay.
So you can do 5 liters this side, 5 liters, those are 10 liters.
Yes. And
you have to, you know, fill around, you need to around 3 trips.
Okay.
You are doing 2 kilometers. So unaenda trip ya kwanza, ya pili, then ya tatu. And you see you are hungry.
Okay.
And the third time you are coming, hakuna dalili ya meko.
Okay.
So so unajua tu hapo leo nimelala tu man, so free hapa nitakunywa tu maji.
Kitaumana.
Na natoa sema sawa. Natoa kwa there some, is it a pot or something like that? Hizo vitu hiyo, those traditional preservers.
Tambo walikuwa na preserve vitu shango sijui
anakupatia tu ugali peke yake.
Yes.
Ugali tu like this one. Allow me to touch it this way.
Yeah.
Basa ni kadogo, hii ni kubwa.
Okay.
So after hiyo kitu, how can I eat ugali peke yake? But because you are hungry, it's better to eat that dry ugali peke yake, then take some water, then go sleep. So na moto unakula.
Okay.
Ukichuna kwanza ni kufika pale ndani kuna tu manyama zimewekwa hapa ndani.
Okay.
Yes.
Ndani ya ugali?
Yes.
Okay.
So she's trying your patience. How can I test this young boy?
Okay.
So umeenda pale uko frustrated maze, umechoka, hakuna food.
After the hard work, long day at school, yes.
There's nothing today to eat.
Yes.
Then now something kadogo tu ugali. So unavumilia, ukimake tu mistake kwanza boko.
Okay.
So ndani alafu napata. So it is that memory, it has kept me going because alikuwa anajaribu kunionyesha, and I think is now reflecting my life kwamba sometimes what you expect is not what you get.
Okay.
You may expect the worst, kumbe from that worst something good is coming out of it.
All right. It's a good
Nice.
it was a nice touch, because others maybe hata hiyo ndio ilikuwa peke yake na maybe hata it's from the previous day and
so,
I'm happy that you picked the sacrifice in that
so going forward,
yes.
Ikakuwa like so she was also trying to tell me that always trust me.
Okay.
I'm your grandmom, I'm your mom, but never doubt me.
Okay.
Ikikuwa ukiona mambo imekuwa ngumu, expect that worst thing. So that in case something good comes out of it, celebrate.
Okay.
If it doesn't come out as you expected, you are mentally prepared for it.
Yeah.
Hardship.
Okay. So quick one around the same time, I'm just like curious now, you're staying with your grandmother. I'm too familiar with your story, so I'm really trying so much to loop in the time lapse as like I've written about it before, and now I'm too familiar with it, so I'm trying to like also loop in the time lapses. But now as you're staying with your grandmother, does your mom get to visit often?
She could.
Yes.
But because
where was your mom staying at this point?
Siaya. She was working in Siaya in the Ministry of Information and Communication.
Yes.
Where I'm now hustling. Anything about that is evil too.
Okay.
But because of a hustle as a mom, unaenda pale maybe vitu ziko poa, so unashangata when you come back home unaleta watoto wako nini.
Right.
So I understand at when you are still a small child or kid, you may not understand why, but sasa nimekuwa adult nimeanza kujua.
You understand that things sometimes
so
don't.
Maybe you
balance.
could say mom doesn't, she rarely comes to visit us. Maybe alikuwa kwa mwaka anaweza kuja mara moja. Or maybe, sometimes at one time she spent almost 3-4 years without coming to see us. So Christmas, wakati ya siku ya Christmas on 24th, ilikuwa naenda place into Marakaro village.
By kusema us, it was you and someone?
Mimi and my bro.
Okay.
Yeah. So mnaenda huko hivyo. Mnangoja magari, unajua family zingine watoto wengine wameenda kuchukua their parents.
Bro to your mom too.
No, bro to my bro mwenye ananifuata kwa mgongo.
Yes, so like yani mtoto wa mama yako pia.
Yeah, mtoto wa mama, so my sibling.
Okay.
Sorry, my sibling. So tulikuwa tumezoea, leo nitoe ile atakuja. So kuna siku ya kwanza ya Christmas ingine 24th hapo tukaenda tukakaa mpaka saa 3 usiku hakuna. Hii nilienda peke yake. Ya pili the next year pia hakuna, ya tatu pia hakuna. Nikasema hapa sasa hata wacha let me just give up. So hizo challenges zilikuanga, but I cannot blame anyone because she was trying to also look for something for us. Na ilituaden tu at the end of it all we were just coming back to my grandmom and nakunya mkhalekha
nafanya mnakuwa
kula na mnatembea tu, so wenzenu wamevaa nguo za Christmas, nyinyi mko tu
okay
na uniform. Actually mimi at least 2-3 years siku ya Christmas tulikuwa tunavaa uniform kwenda church.
Okay. Wow. Ndio watoto wanakuanga brutal na history ya Christmas bwana, wamevaa
basi tulikuwa tumezoea mzee.
Wa mix and match.
And you have to go to church.
Okay.
Yeah, Quaker. My grandmom was a Quaker.
Okay.
So you have to go to church.
What is the earliest memory you have of your father coming into your life? At what point do you think when were you introduced to your father? Your earliest memory of him?
Before the introduction,
Yes.
I don't know that I should say this or not, but it's not a crime anyway.
Yes.
I was just away from school.
This is primary?
Primary. I think I was in class 4.
Okay.
Yeah, should be around 2001 or 2000 or 1999. Somewhere there. Then I wrote a letter to my mom. She was working in Siaya.
Okay.
I don't have school fees. My grandmom is not doing well. She was a nurse, retired, so she wasn't doing well financially.
Yes.
So the burden was too much. Then my mom wrote me a letter. Brian, andikia babako barua. So that one, it flicked my mind. kumbe because hata nikigrow up mi sikuwa najuanga kaa niko na baba
like it never crossed your mind.
Never crossed my mind. Yeah.
Okay.
In fact I never imagined. I didn't even want you to imagine.
Okay.
So kumbe, so if this is my mom telling me and
so this is the first time
nakumbuka mpaka hiyo handwriting ameandika in red letter. Nakumbuka tu just Brian koma unaruka one line andikia baba yako barua full stop.
Okay.
So what do you do? I mean kisiwa huko hauji baba
Kibichuri.
Kibichuri ni ingine sasa.
Okay.
Wewe penye my guardians wako.
Okay.
So nilifikira vitu mingi, so that's it flicked me. Okay. It flicked my mind and I was like okay, so kumbe mimi pia niko na baba na huko kama si mwenye ananiambia andikia babako barua hajanionyesha ule baba.
Okay.
Yeah, so baadaye nikaanza tu kuulizia I think
one
of my relatives.
Letter? Did you write that letter?
I didn't. So unaandika kwa nani? So baadaye nikapata I did that later.
Yeah.
I through someone kanambia sisi naambianga tu babako anafanya kazi Mia Sugar company na this is the address.
Wapi? Mia Sugar.
Mia Sugar company.
Okay.
Na this is the address. So nikaandika hiyo barua but sikuwa na pesa posta.
Yeah.
This time ulikuwa unaandika barua, buy some stickers,
yes.
Unaweka ndo sikuwa na hiyo.
Yes.
So nikapea tu one of my uncles, ukienda huko ukipata weka. So sijui kama hata ilienda ikafika ama ikufika. You see?
Okay.
I never go anywhere.
Still at class 4 now late March.
Hiyo time too. Okay. Around 9 months later. Okay. Because now I had to source to find out who jamaa ko wapi. Mom was not even sharing on it. I think alikuwa ameambia mtu tu babaka anaitwa ABCD.
Okay.
So hiyo barua niliandika but sijui kama ilifika ama ikufika because I never got any products. So for the first time now for me to know, so pale ndo kaanza kujuanga my dad anaitwa hivi na hivi. Uko tu na memory unajua ako sasa hujui kama ako mali kufa but unaishi tu because you don't have that connection. So maliza class year kwanza I told you nika repeat. I was among the top 6 basi kwa nafi, so nika repeat hiyo ku repeat hata sikutaka mimi nitaka tu niache class 8. That was my achievement. You see, because after all that life now unaangalia pia these other guys in the villages pia walimaliza class 8 na wako to they're doing well, wako na ng'ombe, wako na shamba, wanalima nini. But now what I failed to know was that mtu ameacha class 8 ni kwa amepewa shamba, ashajengewa nyumba, ako na simba yake, wamemsaidia ameoa. You know, bana wewe mwenye unaishi na guardians your uncles shamba yake kwa wapi? So ukisema unaachia class 8 how will your life look like?
Yeah.
It was a challenge. Now so when I came to high school the first time I think first now after my second KCPE.
So since your class 4 all the way to class 8 paka unakuwa forced to repeat class 8 and I'm believing you gonna repeat class 8 because feel kuwa challenge ya proceed to the next level of education.
True.
So ile letter haujui kama ilifika yenye uliandika about 9 months later, so probably haikufika. Let's assume haikufika because kama haikuenda through the stamping through the postal office probably haikufika. So still up to this point hujaikutana babako bado? You've never met your dad?
Up to now?
No, like yani up to like
we
when
now
you
we are
join
meeting
from one now.
From one atujimit.
Okay.
Now wakati nilikuwa sana join,
yes,
ndo my aunt mwenye sasa mamangu anamfuata, my guardian.
Yes.
Ndo
the one I talked to.
Yeah.
All right.
Ndo she was so frustrated akasema mtoto hawezi shinda hivi mtihani because I was in index 1 and I was number 1 in my
when now you repeated.
Yes, after repeating.
Nice. Congratulations.
We cannot subject this kid to this kind of trauma. Mtu hata kwa frustrated hata anaweza jifanyia kitu yenye si mzuri. And it would be very embarrassing. So she went all out. Aka wapi she used to teach at a Muslim.
Yes.
My dad is a Muslim, so aka make connection, akaambia penye babangu wako, waka make calls, contacts. So nilikuwa meitwa shule inaitwa Kimili Boys St. Luke's. But then mzee was like mtoto wangu soma St. Luke's, so mbona napandisha standards. Nikaanza kufurahi kidogo, akaenda akanitafutia Bungoma High School direct.
So when he's making this determination that you should go to Bungoma Boys, you mmekutana naye sasa? Mshakutana?
Hatujakutana bado. So through aunt tu wana they're just
so
making
communication is coming through your aunt.
So akatuma, I think alituma kwa some fee although si yote. So vile tulimaza form hiyo first term, was it first term or hiyo first term tu. Mimi nilichelewa kuenda ikielewa kwenda because connect na yeye ndo ni toke huku ni kuja Bungoma High School. Mimi nikijoin form 1 I think ilikuwa back almost 2 or 3 weeks kufunga first term. Kufunga first term unapata watu wameandika bwana business wameandika pages 200 book page. That's how I ended up doing French. Because French walikuwa wameandika 4 pages pekee 5. Salutation. Bonjour ça va hivyo. Kama ni ngumu lakini let me go because nani
at least wajakava one subject yenye itakuwa na a lot to cover.
I will do it.
All right.
So akakuja one day akakuja shule nikaitwa class. Actually that was second term. It was not first term. It was second term because first time ilikuwa around 3 weeks peke yake kwa shule. Second time alikuja time ilikuwa second term. Ilikuwa mwezi wa 5 I remember tarehe 11.
Okay.
Mwezi wa 5 tarehe 11 or something hapo. I think it was on a Thursday or something. But I think I have met those memories. And cut the story short, mwalimu akakuja kanita. Mwalimu guiding and counseling. Mr. Mr. Wachilonga. Elvis Simiyu Kibochi come. Hakuwa mwalimu Wachilonga, alikuwa mwalimu fulani hapa wa geography. Do you know, so anaongea mambo mingi. Where do you come from? Do you know your father? Has he ever come to look for you? So he was asking me very leading questions, you know. So nikaenda kwa office ya principal. So I saw some gentleman seated there, quiet, composed, smart, well dressed, some nice shoes.
Yeah.
Huyu ni mzazi tu wa someone amekuja tu kuona watu ama maybe ni mwalimu amepewa transfer na kuja kufunza huku, so sikumpatia a lot of attention. So tukauza pale principal, deputy, do you know your father? No. Have you ever met him? What's the name? Nikamwambia. Na ukiangalia tu vile tumekaa hivyo, wewe unako babako hapa.
They actually asked you.
Ni swali ilikuwa ni.
They asked you those questions.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And my mom was also there. So nikisema mom, most of the time nikisema mom, I refer to my aunt because yes, aenda amelea sana.
Yes.
By them sijiishi na my mom ama babangu.
Okay.
All my life imekuanga tu guardians.
Interesting. Yes.
So I'm so connected to my aunt na mwitanga mom.
Yes.
My grandmom was my mom. Nilikuwa hata sikuwa mwitanga my granny. Mwitanga tu mom, my hivyo.
Yes.
So when she died, I think I shifted focus to
all your love and attention to your aunt now.
Yeah. See, I may ignore my mom, but we are still in touch. We talk.
Yes.
But now I'm more connected kwa mtu mwenye ameni bring up.
Yes.
Than hata baba nikisema every time ukisikia nasema my dad, I actually refer to my guardian dad.
Huyo bwana ya aunti yako sasa.
Huyo tu ndo hata namwitanga tu baba. Na yeye anajua tu mimi ni kijana wake hivyo tu, full stop.
Yeah.
Decision making, ni aje hapa itakuwaje nini. Yeah. Ngombe nafasi toke town ziende village, organize ngombe ziende.
Okay.
Utafuta lori, angalia lori bei wanakuambia 7,000 tukichwele kibichore. Kina amka asubuhi na ngombe kwa barabara rap. You know. So nikakutana just imagine ukambe kwa watu tumekaa hivi. Uwezo unako babako hapa. Unamjua, unajua. Wow, this is the guy that
so ukafanya isolation math.
Na yule anakaa mazeni tunafanana. I can photocopy. Kwanza I saw him as my photocopy, not me as his photocopy. There, come on, just stand and hug your dad. Kaamka tusalimiana hapo, we talked, kaniachia my pocket fee na kaenda akasamwisha. So hapo ndo tukaanza at least karudi class.
A direct connection was established.
Yeah, kama finally.
So this was form 1 second term.
Second term.
Okay.
May. Ilikuwa mwezi wa 5. Just like around this May imeisha leo. Yeah, ilikuwa tu May.
All right. How did you feel? Now
the connection ina mazeli feel poa bwana. After no match where
kakuongezako
yes. I was very happy on that particular.
Yes. So did the relationship become steady after that ama
kuja alikuwa anakuja kutu nini alikuwa anakuja kutu visit.
Yes.
But something although I don't know what happened, akafika pale tulikuwa na some disconnection. I tried to reach out to him as in school fees, my aunt is struggling nini. And he was very disconnected. I don't know what happened. Sijaijua mpaka sahi.
This is at what point?
Now we are coming for tunamalizia third term. So nilikuwa napiga tinga ya second not second year, sorry. Form 2.
Okay.
But then so my mom had told my aunt now told me by vile vitu mzawaka na behave, I don't think wacha tu ningangana na wewe.
Okay.
So jua tu mimi ndo niko na tutakuwa tu hivyo.
Okay, so the connection was established and then again ikadidimia kidogo tena.
No explanation or nothing.
Okay.
Alafu najua you know one thing, how did you feel? I also it had 2 coins. One is that unajua umeishi life yenye iko terrible.
Yes.
Trust me, my child siwezi tamani mtoto wangu apite what I've gone through.
Yes.
And iko na advantages na disadvantages. So advantage is unaweza pata those people are bringing up wanakupenda sana. Me by them nilikuwa napendwa. So I cannot complain that they mistreated me. I grew up in a, you know, but now mental torture.
Yeah.
You know, wanaweza kupenda sana mpaka unaanza kufeel guilt like I'm just supposed to be doing each and everything right. So ile siku unafanya kitu kidogo tu una feel like frustrated kabisa. You know. Number 2, even if you get some bad treatment or you see other families, you know, are getting this and that, children getting this and that treatment, you don't have a right to ask for anything.
Yeah.
I went to school barefoot.
Okay.
But you cannot complain because una complain as well.
No.
What do you qualify for?
Anything you're given is feels like a bonus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wakati unakuja na realize your dad is a very rich person, anafanya kwa kampuni kubwa, and so you ask yourself so many questions. Why have I suffered all this particular time? I wanted to go to big schools, you know, but a lot of things. So unaanza kufikiria vitu mingi. It shall happen. I cannot question the past. Let's work with what's there. Yeah. So my mom took over, akanisaidia mama school fees, my uncle sijui akachipin kidogo. Hata wakauza kwa ng'ombe.
Just to help you get.
Unauza ng'ombe kupeleka ng'ombe nyingine, lakini mimi si ng'ombe
nyingine.
I'm productive, my friend.
Unafanya tunacheka kucheka bwana.
No, when I narrate, every time I narrate that story, I don't like being emotional.
You throw in some humor.
I just love getting some humor around it because why do you?
It is already in the past.
It's past. You cannot question the past. You cannot you know.
Yes.
Anyway. Na nikajiuliza maswali mingi, why? So tukaanza kuwork, then nikamaliza form 4 hivyo. My dad was absent all that time. Nikamaliza, I asked him, okay, see at report to the public, but it's something that probably someone else has also gone through.
Yes.
So if they
so
get
it's a
to
story that
one,
needs to connect.
Yeah, yes. And maybe someone also experienced the same, and they see me still standing here strong with a bigger name. Let them feel inspired.
Yes.
Basically, we're talking about father-son attachment or detachment.
Yes.
And the role of a father in a son life, or in a child or in a life. Na hivyo tu ka struggle. So mimi nimekuja nikapata na mzae tena baadaye tu. Now what I told myself is that nilikuja barua nilitaka I got to him one time after high school. Mwambia bwana, mimi watoto wa ndugu zangu wengine nimeangalia wanasoma wako ma universities, what about me? Mimi si atala kwa mtihani. And I'm not a bad person.
So right now you have like a cell phone or something? You can
using someone's cell phone.
Okay.
But with the numbers zake nilikuwa nimezipata pale.
Okay, so you reached out to him and asked him this question. What was his response to the question?
Enda Sangalo uchukue diploma in barua in what do you call it? Barua admission letter.
Yes.
To agriculture. Do an agriculture course. High school sijifanya agriculture. I don't even know how to define agriculture. So mimi ulikuwa kinoza define agriculture, nikasema agriculture is farming. So unaanza kuimagine how can I go to college naanza kusoma hizo vitu zote zenye unajua when you go to college you are doing an escalation of what you have in high school hivyo. So uwezi niambia tu sasa niende nisome military
and also plus interest,
plus interest
yes. They have to marry. Yes.
Bwana mimi napenda mambo ya media. High school nimeenda drama, nimeenda music, national love scripted nini. Can I just do a media course please? I was like, come on, utakiacha.
Okay.
Fini ile tu.
Yeah.
At that time I think ilikuwa 45,000
per year.
Per year.
Okay.
Ni ile tu. So sinifanya course yenye najua what I know, and with my, you know, my interest and everything, it will be easier for me to monetize, to get a job and to excel than hii kitu yenye naanza from the scratch. Juu agriculture time yetu I think tulikuwa tumeacha class 6 class 3. Walifika pale wakazitoa, so we went back to now 5 subjects.
I think for me ilikuwa around class 6 hapo.
Used to KCS ulikuwa unafanya, KCP ulikuwa unafanya 8, was it 8 subjects or something like that, or they narrowed down to 5.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was the last time I came in touch with the agriculture as a subject. So to cut the story short, he never supported.
Okay.
So I told myself, hii course yenye umekataa kunisaidia hii, I will venture into that department, into that industry, and I will make a name
out of it.
And those people who never wanted to support me, they will be shocked.
Okay.
And I'm not doing this one to, you know,
out of spite or anything.
Yeah,
it was an interest.
It was just interest. This is what I want to do.
Yes.
So let me do it. In case wakifika pale wana yenyewe, kumbe jamaa tulikuwa na mwenye opportunity hata angekwamba I came out tukaanza vile nimefika hizi sahi. So baadaye ndo naanza kuonekana kwa TV doing a resident, I was a resident sports analyst for one of the local stations here. Those TV to mention, that is Burudani Viwanjani. They used to miss relatives, walikuwa napigia simu na bwana tumeona mtoto wenu ndugu yenu sijini. So I was getting a lot of calls from home.
Okay.
Baadaye so kila mtu anataka kuassociate na wewe, ni wetu. So like na mbona wakati nilikuanga mtu mdogo hivi, no one wanted to even.
Okay.
One of these fine days I will share kuna ka photo ho napenda kushare.
Please share with us, we can insert it into the video.
I will share with that video. Very short photo. But I like it because
I think I've seen it. Yes. With ashy feet or something. I think you shared.
I think yes, kulikuwa class 5.
Yes.
That was 2000 but my initiation circumcision.
Okay. Interesting, man. And when I say interesting, it's like it's a really,
motivating
and deep to So you've stayed in your lower primary education with the entire of your lower primary umekaa na grandmother. So and then you transition during high school. Is it because of proximity to town dilifanya uka shift? Because I meant to believe that when now you went to high school, you moved to ukaanza kuishi na your aunt now, who you're referring to mostly as your mom.
Is that right? One,
yes.
Proximity to the school.
Yes.
Because hapa nilikuwa natembea tu.
Yes.
Number 2,
yeah.
It was also they were protecting me.
Right.
Because lukua villages huko, most of my friends walikuwa naenda shule form 1 anaacha.
Okay.
So they didn't want me to get back to them.
Yes.
Alafu pia nikuwe kama wale. So they thought me being here nitakuwa under watch and surveillance and close monitoring. And it helped me.
And they'll try and love you slightly better than provide better care than your grandmother. Yes. Because you know how it is in the village sometimes.
Tough, man.
Yes. Interesting. So what is your most memorable moment during your high school period? I like memorable, mostly fond. I like reminiscing on the good times mostly. The dark times are there mostly. They're uninvited. So I try to highlight the beauty that abounds. Do you have a highlight one during either high school or your stay with your aunt during this period between, say, now high school from 1 to form 4? Is there like a fond memory that you held on to during this period?
Family or school?
Either, man. Either of the two.
One day, tulikuwa nafanya hizo ma competition. Unajua mkimaliza mtihani,
yes,
tunakuwa na hizo ma challenges like talent show.
Yes.
So ilikuwa kama mnafunga kesho shule, leo mnakuwa na talent show. So siku ile andika script ya kusoma news. Unasoma news zingine it makes sense.
Ile news ya kama XYZ.
Ati ndege moja imeanguka baada ya kugongana na mwewe. Ndege ya abiria.
Okay.
Yaani unaandika vitu zenye as make sense but unaweka into tone ya news.
Yes.
Ingine ilikuwa I think I'll give that script but still watu walicheka, like the whole school walicheka. That's how now nilisema tu.
That's what solidified. This is around which form, which grade? Ulikuwa form gani hivi?
Now I was in form 2.
Form 2. All right.
Form 2 nikaanza kuwa celeb. Ati kijana wa news. Hata mpaka walimu wote. I was very happy on that particular day. Yes, just imagine.
Yes.
Unasoma kitu then people the whole hall.
Yes.
Unajua pale sasa form 2 ilikuwa kukuwa celeb form 2 hata haikuwa inafaa. Form 3 hao ndio walikuwa nataka.
You have to be really top tier to stand out at
mine
at
just came so unique.
Okay.
Mine came out so unique. So that's one of the things that nakumkanga sana and I really appreciate a lot.
I was half time when
Number 2.
Unajua penye naenda. Sema nao unajifanya unajua kila kitu hapa Wakajuaness. Sema chata niweke kalamu chini.
Sasa my god.
Ulikuwa unajua naenda kuiandika so mama kufollow the sword.
Mapenzi wewe.
Alafu songesha microphone karibu, focus it towards you. Yes. Yeah.
So ilikuwa na kadem. I used to have some kademo hapo.
Okay.
Kando Penina. So nimeenda tulikuwa December
3 ama
I was in form 3.
Okay.
So ilikuwa December form 2 to form 3.
Yes.
So tuko villages now in Chwele Kibichore. Tunaenda kuona our aunts. Dada auntie to step aunt wa baba yetu alioleka huko side ya Maraka. So akademu napenda kupitia kwa shop yao.
Do you know why I'm laughing? I'm laughing because nafurahia mama kujishtaki. That was not actually what I had, but now since umeamua kuirusha tu sasa. Wamekupatia leakage. Hao tu niliongea nao wamekupatia leakage.
No. Ina naikumbukanga tu yani.
Sure, shoot.
So nikapita kwa ule dem. Walikuwa na shop hapo Chwele. But so nimekaa unajua time bwana kwa demo kushika hiyo mkono unafurahi yani tu touch of touch the skin unaona tu basi
umefika
acha na hug this is a touch demo
hata tu kukushika tu pekee yake
hata kumsalimia tu
it was as good as having sex. Truly man.
Sasa this lady open myself with this mic
you could say just keep
pushing sip
karibu.
This lady ako tu kumkono angana shika nini tumekaa tu hivi unaivi mnakaa kwa shop unakuja huko ameningoje inafaa niende nipande gari niende sasa after that kama bano I'm rushing out let me go we shall talk
shiko ya kutosha
kanisikia shiko bwana uso what mimi sijui kitu yote ina happen
kwenda
sikujua trust me because you cannot notice mtu alifanya nika notice my sisters anaitwa Masi na wengine my cousins.
Yes.
So umefika no like why you glittering like this yani niko na vitu maana hizo watu walivaliwa wakati ya graduations nini hizo so such like things like instances na stick kwa and then they reflect.
Yeah.
So ulifika huko na meta na ulikuwa unatembea kwa barabara watu niangalia huko jamaa
unakaa stripper.
Do you know nonsense ilibidi nimeenda kuomba nini nioge tu tena fresh
kwa sababu tena ungefika nyumbani ingekuwa kesi
bwana. Yes. So aka kitu mazeka na nibambanga tu sijui mbona
no your sister cousin Masi aliniambia your story and I laughed so much because sababu mtu alitutoka na from her version she was like uliwatoka
Watoka yani we are supposed to go together
because they didn't even know where you were but now coming back they would never have known where you were tungewaambia tu umeenda kuchukua kitu but now you coming back glittering you're like you umeenda kukana kama msichana pahali na mmeshikana definitely so you pretending you're innocent ati huko unajua ama huko unataka kushikwa
kushikwa hiyo nilikuwa najua nashikwa lakini sikujua udem kumbe alikuwa amejipaka vitu fulani za are you saying that?
Yes.
Get it boy.
Wewe umekuwa ukijifanya hata siko nataka nishikwe sana.
Sijasema siko nataka nimesema mimi nilikuwa nataka kushikwa ni rai utamu bwana.
So silly.
But sikujua alikuwa na vitu vingine hizo madem.
In that moment yes.
Afu unajua those things are very tiny. Ni kadogo but ukiko jua ndo kana reflect.
Yes.
So ujui hata ukifanya hivyo hata huwezi jua. Hata ukwambia maziwa na gilita lakini ukisimama kwa mirror pale ukiweka mirror pale ukiangalia unasema mazee this is not me.
Yes.
So it became awkward. I had to go and take a shower.
Kuna story nilipigiwa hapo pia, sijui kuna ball ulipasua uko high school. Kuna half time yenye ulikataa kuenda nyumbani juu unapenda mpira sana na
sasa Kirere ni mbaya. And I think I deserved it. I think I was just stupid. Watu simukwambia proximity hapa from watu wanaenda half time, mimi siendi.
Yes.
Na the reason why sikutaka kwenda half time is because million why am I going to home kufanya nini like back to shule.
Yes.
In the home, I mean, I could make sense. So si nilikata kwa ubaya, but si kuona tu sense ya kwenda tena kusumbua home. Wanajaribu kulipia school fees, ninaenda watafutie tena kurudi shule tena shopping tena. So I was trying to limit myself so that other people don't spend a lot on me.
Yes.
So it was strategic personal assessment.
Yes.
So ile tu tuko na games bwana.
It's a very thoughtful assessment.
Kuna games mimi nacheza hapa hii ball ya volleyball. That was on nini half time imeanza Thursday. Games imeanza saa 2 zinaisha Sunday. So on that Sunday hiyo jioni watu wengine hata ni fake sana. Basi inatoka mbona pale Bungoma High School ukiingia hapo kuna hii mti kubwa hii kwa hii dining hall. So tulikuwa tunacheza hapo hiyo mpira ya volleyball tunapiga na jamaa mwingine hapo. So kati nilimpigia na akachoka akasema acha mimi niende. Yeye akaacha boli kaenda. Basi nayo sinatoka chini napeleka inatoka saa 12. Kakanyaga hiyo ball. Pikapasua. Head boy yako pale. Natoka dimo. Na mkumbuka sana.
Ana witness.
Kuja tu. Peleka huko.
Wakakuwekea kiraka.
Wakaniandikia barua deputy. Replace one Mikasa ball. So mimi nikaenda home. So they're like, na huyu hajakuja half time. Anakujaje Sunday. Sasa nimeshindwa nitasemaje. Mzaa yako pale. This is not your dad. Umeshindwa utamwambia aje. Njili kana hiki kitu 2-3 days. Wewe uende shule, umechukua school fees. Nini ya school fees kwa wapi? Kena nikatoa kale kabarua. Suspension letter.
Oh, they suspended you for that?
I was suspended. Yeah. I was suspended. 3,800. Ilikuwa 2,800. Hiyo ball ilikuwa 2,800. So I think it's around 5,700.
Factoring inflation.
Mzali boyeka. Kanipatia do. Enda uchukue mpira na uende shule kabisa usipitie hapa.
Okay.
Kina nikabai nikapeleka. That's my suspension shule.
Okay. Kwa hivyo Mauru ilikuwa hapo ndani. But sasa it was an accident that just turned out to be
si hata ni kitu loko plan.
Anyway, so after high school, I want to try something here. I want to try skim through because you've had quite an illustrious post-high school situation here. I want to try skim through some of the hustles you've done, and there's a question that will follow regarding your post-high school post-high school hustle life. I'm calling it nimeita the pre-Wakajuaness life. I know the Wakajuaness name came alive in high school, alive in high school, but for you to profit ama to start making a living off it, ilipita muda kidogo. So I'm trying to capture this moment because this moment is very pivotal to the person I'm speaking to, in a sense. So, one, you applied for for work in a Canadian company in Kisumu, only to find yourself hawking cheap household items. Two, courtesy of this hustle number one, you ended up directing a drama for Kisumu girls. Ukawafikisha provincials, ukatengeneza kalut mzuri tu out of that. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa kwa mwaka yako ya kwanza. 3, ukadirect, ukakuja ukatoka Kisumu ukarudi karibu na familia kidogo ukadirect play ama sijui nini piece huko
music festival, yes.
Baptist.
Choral verses.
Slightly after that, I think ukaenda ukastudy packages. Nikwambia niko na historia niko nayo. After that, you worked as a waiter at Keringet, Keringet Hotel.
That was my first hustle after high school.
That was the first? Okay. So, uli apply for the Canadian scholarship after kama uko hapo nini? Kama uko hapo nini?
Let me try. Nikimaliza.
Yes.
My first hustle ilikuwa Keringet.
Ilikuwa Keringet, Haya. So, you then after, I think you're also doing editorial work for a Christian-based magazine. You had mentioned it earlier in our conversations when tumeanza. Then later, now I think hapo ndio naanza kuingia kwa maisha yako when you worked as a cleaner, and then later on became the manager of Shenanigans Sports Bar. I think these are right. It was even before that. Our paths crossed before this, but courtesy a recommendation from, I think, Opasha.
Yes.
When I was told him I'm looking for someone, akaniambia patia Wakajuaness. Nikamwambia hii kazi ni ya cleaner bro. Akaniambia hapana, wewe pigia Wakajuaness. Akona kashughuli lakini wewe mpatie tu atafanya. Anajua ananidi job. I was like, by the way, kama uje msukumia za cabbage, msukumia Opasha za cabbage. Yenda alikoconnect, alinsist, akaniambia nilikuwa na feel shy about getting you that job. Nilikuwa na feel ilikuwa job yenye inakaa a bit below you, unaona. But then again you took the job na ukaitandika yani vizuri tu sana, like yani mpaka nikaanza kukua side
mpaka nikarestock.
Yes, tuanza kufanya restock, cashier nini. So I just like I began, na mimi I'm a master delegator, my friend. Mimi nikiona unajeza mimi nakuachia kila kitu, hata naenda maharusi Nairobi sasa. You remember? So I just like, delegated a lot, and you took up the role, and by the time I was exiting, the management changed, and by the time I was exiting, I recommended you as the manager, and they took you up, and it was nice. So the question I was going to ask was, which of these odd jobs would you say was the most pivotal to who you are right now, ama to what you later on become as a, say, Wakajuaness, ama the blogger, ama what you're making a living of right now? Because hiyo ndo sasa imekuwa consistent from 2016 to date. Which of these ninis would you say, ama kama pia it's an amalgamation, will you pick a thing or two from each of them, then feel free to
of course
say that
all of them have played a very big role, because either way we are learning.
Okay.
But the most the pivotal one, the most concrete one that had projected me to be where I am, and I have a lot of memories, the job at Shenanigans when I worked there as a...
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd say ni hata write scripts huku Baptist snacks.
Yeah, pana.
All right.
Why? Because of the connections and inspiration and the training.
Yes.
At Shenanigans I think I was under training. Hizi zingine ilikuwa tu una hustle tu, anyone has, but
piga tu
Shenanigans, it gave me a lot of maturity and professionalism.
All right.
And it has really helped me. And probably
tuma za cabbage bro, tuma za cabbage. Cause kama
lakini Opasha nilimtumia. Opasha hata sio indai.
Opasha limazana.
Wewe tumatana yeye.
Okay. So ni mimi ningoje tu.
Kuwa tu Mungu atasaidia.
Okay bro, keep going.
Fine, thank you. Now mimi nilikuwa nafanya kazi, there's a Christian magazine that approached me in Nairobi. Kanambia walikuwa napenda kuona vile naandika. So one of them through my cousin anaitwa Tom, akaenda, alikuwa anafanya kwa hiyo kampuni.
Yes.
Na akaniambia, bro, so mbona hapa kuna kagigi hapa, so kuja ufanye hapa, kuna contract. Saidia tukafanya. They were paying me some good money. Around 11 plus around 39,000. Let me say around 39,000
per month.
Yeah. Accumulation, please ingine mkienda trainings nini hivyo around there. So kazi yangu ilikuwa very easy as a sub editor. Actually I was supposed to be a writer. I was employed as a writer. I was hired as a writer. But now this lady called Sally Chambi, I remember her. I think she's now in Germany.
Okay.
Yena akapenda vile nilikuwa napenda kuwrite. So walikuwa nakusanya these articles for these other writers, then she forwards to me. I help in editing, proofreading. Ilikuwa nikimake one mistake. At one particular day I made a spelling error in the headline. Then she just published it as it is because of the trust. Na nikasema okay, who is next time I should never make that mistake. And she was pressed down.
Okay.
Nikamwambia you made a mistake. I trusted kama I'm sorry. Bali kwa najua tu hapo acha nimset hapo nione kama pia hiyo kupitia. So nikaanza kwa kama sub editor. You collect the articles on forwardia, you proofread, you change nini paragraphing. You see, I've not done journalism, but hiyo kitu iko kwa I know how a bad story looks like. Yeah. So nilikuwa naamka kitu kama saa 11. I had some small laptop pale. Saa 11, saa 2, saa 3 nishamaliza story yangu. Ita kunywa pombe. Sisema sasa ina kunywanga. So you just free the whole day, just walking nini kuangalia kwa masupa. Nilikuwa napenda sana kutembea kwa masupa, sijui kwa nini. Then now when you approached me, ambia bwana hebu kuja tuongee kitu kidogo. Mpata calls zako mingi sana. Tulikuwa na train hapa penye site tuko na what do we call it?
Uwanja.
not Wanjala, hapo post Tutis or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hiyo Tutis ilikuwa uwanja kubwa sana wa
KI.
football. KI that time. Tukakuja hapo, kwa nacheza hapo, so nikapata so many calls from you. Najua leo ananipigia simu mingi saje. So I called back, siko na airtime kakakatika, you call back, hebu kuja hapa pitia. Katoka hapo that sweat, kakuja hapa shenanigans, we talked. But niko na kaja job fulani hapa kadogo hivi, just cleaning here. Can you do it? Kama yes. But I have this particular gig nini. No, wana, kama unamazanga job yako saa 4 na hapa inafaa tufungwe saa 4. So I will give you an hour of rest and to prepare. So utakuwa nafungwa saa 5. I said fine, it makes sense. Can we give you something? The offer of 7,000. Offer was 7,000, right?
Yeah.
Then plus I think lunch allowance or something. Ilikuwa inakuja 9,000. Nama 9,000 hii tu alafu unafanya saa 5 mpaka saa 11. That's okay, man. Nikaanza cleaning tu hapo. Watu wanakuja wanakudharau tu. Some of them you know you are earning more than them. But because you're working there. Now that's how I escalated vile umesema nikapanda. And I love that job. But now the reason why I say that job is very concrete to my development is because I met so many people, made friendship with so many people up to now.
Yeah, it was a very social gig.
It's a very social place, nice. Hata hii idea kwa actually nikianza blog yangu Wakajuaness like shenanigans.
Yes. Yes.
Why? Because there's some guy, a friend of mine alikuja akasema wewe unapenda kuandika sana. Why are you writing for other people? Why are you writing for other organizations? Because mimi nilikuwa naandikanga so many articles. I used to sell articles.
So the seed was planted at shenanigans.
Yes.
Right.
So can you just come up with your own company and then start writing for your own people, or for yourself, and then monetize?
All right.
Make it make sense. That's why I call a friend of mine, Andrew Dan Hongo.
Yeah.
Kamwambia hebu kuja kwanza. Because mkone kwa alumni ya alisoma Bungoma school ya MIT. Kampatia my projection. This is what I want to do. What do you think? Kanambia nielezee what's your idea, nini nikamwambia I want to come up with this particular brand, you should be working on this, just a digital newspaper.
Yeah.
Kabisa sawa. So katengeneza first article, nikaanza katengeneza akatengeneza logo, the logo you see here. So hiyo time Twitter unajua unaanza na handle arts. Then Wakajuaness. So akai, you know, to make it look like the arts of username. Then akajaribu incorporate the W to mean Wakajuaness. It has stayed up to now. Sijai change logo. Unless now vile nimeanza digital broadcast, then I'm thinking of doing a logo.
A rebrand of
and I know the person who
iko sawa.
Yeah, so shenanigans ilifanya nikakutana na a lot of friends, I made connections, nikajua how to run business.
Yeah.
Challenges too, kuna watu walikuwa wanaenda na mabills nini inakumes kidogo, but pia ilikuwa nani, don't put friendship in business.
Yes.
So it was a hard lesson.
That was training pia.
Mpaka sasa imenisaidia sana. So plus the manager that I had at that particular time, which is you, it's a hardcore person. Mazee fanya urafiki huko mazee. You guy man.
Louder
for the friends. Tuko job
Louder for the people at the back.
Yani unaangalia stock bado unaangalia hapa niko na shorts na shorts. Nasikia tu hii 460 kwa wapi? So unaanza kukumbuka 460 nini? Alafu unakaa tu si hata kwa friends wako. Mdosi wale wazungu wako, they want the money man.
Yes.
So it can pay discipline. Yes. It also made me to know that even if you have a friend and you're working together, either he's your boss or neighbor, but you're friends.
Yes.
Wakati ya friendship wacha iko huko. Tukikuja job,
chape job.
Tukimaliza tumetafute familia zetu riziki, let's go back to friendship.
Nafanya la blush bwana.
So ilisaidia sana, and that's how I work now.
Yeah.
We are friends, kama tuko job mazini job.
Chape
even
job.
My bosses.
Yeah.
Kuna you know I have bosses.
Yes.
We can make some jokes, but if I see you making a mistake that I know is going to mess us up, man. Kwambia tu boss hapa azi.
Yeah.
Nyindo nanga those bosses wananipenda kabisa, wanajuanga huyu ni jokes, lakini ikifika time ya kazi mazeni pige job.
And it's a good virtue by the way. I think it's a good virtue because there is no point for you to kumba hapa ka muharibu shughuli yenye imewaleta pamoja. You lose both the job and you lose even now the friendship. You see. So if you can salvage at least one, wacha basi hata urafiki tuweke kando kidogo tupaka alafu tuchape kazi. I think that was usually kind of my philosophy, and I just like infuse it in every hustle that I do.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was not actually expecting shenanigans to be top of the list, but hey, I am happy that I think through proximity, maybe I also played a role of sorts in the coming of of Wakajuaness. Now, 2 more questions around this as we transition to another aspect of this conversation. What has been one of the biggest challenges that you may face in this craft of yours, setting up this digital media platform of yours? What has been one of you? I think you can just go ahead and answer that. What has been your biggest challenge so far? I know the challenges are many, but if you just like to select 1 or 2
challenge yangu, the biggest itakuwa tu finance. Sijipata ile serious capital yenye. I have very big dreams.
Yes.
But ile kupata tu kusekiwa tu serious capital ya now to convert my dream into reality.
Yes.
Imekuanga challenges because these jobs, family responsibilities, nini,
support and
so sometimes like you are living from hand to mouth or something like that.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm not supposed to be here. I think I always look at myself like I'm supposed to be very far. I've made some mistakes. These mistakes you'll make because of desperation.
Yeah.
Let me work with this one. But maybe ningepata maybe big amount of capital to inject in.
Yes.
You too imekuwa biggest challenge. Number 2, and another challenge that I've faced, and it's also messed me up even mentally, is that I think I trust so much.
Okay.
Nimetrust watu. Unajua vile nilikuwa nafanya kazi nilikuwa nakwambia nimekuachia cash box, let me rush work on something in the hospital. Niko na mgonjwa na I come back, I find the cash box vile kama umeuza zingine umeongeza. You don't even say nimekuachia pesa fulani, but when I do my reconciliation najua tu nikiangalia stock nini hakuna pesa inapotea.
Yes.
But kuna pesa again, kuna stock imeuzwa.
Yes.
See, so ile trust yenye nilikuwa nayo I always give it to almost everyone. So kumbe there are people who
who don't deserve it.
Like for example the issue of website.
Yes.
The
one you mentioned earlier, yes.
Good, kidogo tu jamaa wanakupeana, then you thrown off. Yeah, hizo ndo vitu. So nimetrust sana watu. Some of them have messed me financially again.
Yes.
Na imenimesana even mentally and all that.
So right now you're a bit more sparing in your trusting.
Saizi mazee urafiki kando.
Lazima mtu apitie through the hoops and bounds first.
If not, please, wacha tu nibaki nayo pesa kidogo niko nayo. Hata kama nikilala na mayai 2 nikutengeneza sukuma nikula ka ugali hapo. That's what I have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself doing this for the rest of your life?
I wish to do it for the rest of my life.
Yes.
But now this world imetufunza vitu mingi that you need to be, you need to metamorphosize. You need to assess the situation. You're not supposed to be so plastic or so rigid.
Yes.
Impervious that I must do this mpaka kifo.
Yes.
Utaamka asubuhi hii mambo hata internet haitakuwa.
Yes.
Na umetegemea internet. So what else can you do?
You're right.
You say. But if all circumstances remain the way they are, I think I wish to do that.
Okay.
Because it has actually put me where I am, and it has connected me to so many people, good and bad people, and I think I'm comfortable.
You're right.
What I'm trying to say is that, for example, if you say, I watched your podcast when you were co-hosting with Ochuro.
Yes.
And you said if you ever continued with the, your flash,
the entertainment.
Flash entertainment,
yes,
selling mambo ya movies na nini, sasa ungeanguka.
Yeah.
And which is true. So you cannot be so rigid that because I'm journalist wasije nataka nifanye hii. What if akifika tu pale alafu there's no journalism? And sasa one of the issues of AI, artificial intelligence. Sasa you don't even, hata mimi sasa I cannot even, I can't tell anyone to go to school and study journalism. Because everyone,
for real?
Why you should do that? Everyone is now doing journalism.
Yeah.
Look at most of the articles that are being published. Yesterday, recently, I think, in one of the papers that I saw a mistake. I love IT. Unaangalia tu article nasema this is an AI generated article. For example, how do you detect that this is an AI generated article? For example, during our time when you are studying English, even up to now, when you are naming, let's say in this setup we have camera 1, we have camera 2, comma, and we have camera 3. So in that sentence, how many commas are we supposed to have? You're supposed to have 2 commas. So we have camera 1, comma, camera 2, comma. We have camera 1, comma, camera 2, that's comma. Then we go, and you're not supposed to have a comma after, before and.
When you're putting the conjunction and, yes.
And you are not supposed to. But look at some of the articles that we are reading on mtu anasema tu, najua tulikuwa tukwa set, tukakuwa na camera 1, comma, camera 2, then you are supposed to say and camera 3.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to say camera 1, comma, camera 2, comma, then after comma you are saying and. So just do a normal, just a round check. Just do a round check on Google. Then just tell Google to tell you. Just prompt them to give you an article about blue economy. Then look at that article. You see how they're punctuating their sentences. But in real English, you're not supposed to put a comma.
What is blue economy? For those who don't know.
Economy that's blue. Oceans and all that. I think and is in that department, our Joho, the Minister of Blue Economy, I think it's society doing something in the oceans and that.
Okay.
You see, yeah,
Okay.
marine and all that. Now, you're not supposed to or just tell AI to write an article about Simiyu Wakajuaness. How many jobs has he done? How many households? So we'll see how we'll always see if there's an article that has a comma before.
Oh, so you're saying basically that AI has like a style of writing that is quite predictable, and you can be able to pick it up. And
Yes.
we're also saying that there's been an over-reliance on use of AI at the expense of initial creativity.
Yeah. So why do you go to study journalism?
Yes, when that is like now the direction that is being taken.
So do these technical courses, plumbing and all that. I think they have more hands because that's why you cannot use AI.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you've given me my flowers as one of the people who was, tough guy, helping you become who you are. And I'm also going to give you yours. Around this time, I think 2017, 18, thereabout, I was writing just funny. I also like to mask a lot of pain in humor. Like I would talk about something heavy. When the first time you shared your story with me, when I was writing, when I had set up my own blog spot. I think initially I was just writing stories on my Facebook. On my Facebook page, I'll just do long posts and then attach a humorous picture to like accompany it and push. But now looking at you having set up your thing, I was like, Wakajuaness is doing this. And I also think of myself as a story. I didn't like the idea of, I don't think of myself as a newsman. So I wouldn't really do like news articles the way you are doing. I think of myself as a storyteller. So you inspired me to set up my own blogspot. Really, unlike you, when I was telling you, you're very consistent, and you've kept at it for a very long time. I tried. Mine I set up in 2019.
Remember?
And I did really good stories. Even yours, I was just actually rereading it so that I can actually get up to speed with the story. And I was like, this is actually a really nice story that I wrote about this gentleman. Amazing story. And I think I had forgotten how much struggle and pain you went through till I actually read that story again. And especially at that point of growing up, where you actually, I don't know if, I'm sure, umerudi kaisoma pia wewe? Ama uliachana nayo hivyo?
No, but hiyo link haiko.
Okay, there was an issue, but we've resolved it.
Okay.
It's there now. It's
I've read it thrice.
You've read it thrice. How did you feel being blogged, for lack of a better word?
It's nice. Why? Because it's something that I knew you were going to do an article about me because we did an interview.
We did an interview, a sit-in, where I took.
This is someone that, you have been writing other people's stories.
Yes.
So this time, someone has written your story.
Yes.
There's that feeling.
Yes.
There's that courage. And,
there's like a validation of sorts, yes.
Yeah.
And it's good to see yourself through someone else's words.
Yes. What do they think about me? What can they write about me?
Yes.
So you are seeing a reflection
Yes.
of yourself through someone else.
Through someone else, yes.
True.
Yeah. Thank you. So one of the things that you put out there to me, and you left me shocked, and you even left other people who read through the comments that were on that blog. People were shocked that there's something you mentioned, that you through the frustrations of growing up, early childhood, there's a point even you felt so frustrated in life, even attempted to, like, take your life even as a primary school kid. I'm really trying to preface as much as possible the next question. Najaribu kuipatia background because it's a difficult and a bit of a sensitive question. So, and when I fast forward to I think 2021, 2020 thereabout. There was
2021.
Yeah, 2021, and I think life as an adult now, I think life just threw a bunch of lemons, and I think maybe something to do with some of the frustrations you were mentioning. You were mentioning that you were going through. I think you harbored thoughts of self-harm, and even broadcasted some of them and shared them on the internet, and the community kind of came together to like support you and get you on your feet. So I guess the question I'm trying to ask is, what are some of the circumstances that what are some of the circumstances that put you? I'm not sure about you as a child then, what was going through your mind, because I just think as a child there's a lot of things that you cannot explain the pain, but as an adult or in retrospect, if you can just like try share with time lapses out the world at large, what was going through your mind at that moment, and what led to that situation, and how you were able to rise above or pull yourself from that hole that you had found yourself into, either back then, if you can remember, or mostly right now, especially back, because 2021 is a bit more recent, if you can be able to talk about that time and the struggle that you were going through, and how you managed to like pull yourself out of it.
Now, thank you. One,
yes,
I just go straight to the point. As an adult, that's when life starts showing you the other page that you are supposed to be on,
yes,
or to be read.
yes,
And for me, I think I've commented about one of my challenges being, trusting people too much.
Yes.
When you're brought up in a very straightforward, you expect everyone else to be like you.
yes,
When I'm
Truly.
used to leaving my phone here on this table, going to do my things out there,
Yes.
and come, we are two, you have left your phone here and I've left my phone here. I go to do my things. You go to do your things. You come and get your phone. But when I come, I don't get my phone. You see, you get hurt because you expect what you are doing to other people, they also do the same. But
Yes.
you. Now, what happened that through business and all that, I think I lost some 2-3 funds here and there, and they're supposed to put me at a particular place, and it frustrated me. And when you follow the story,
yes,
it was just some of those betrayal, from people you didn't expect. So definitely you will not be okay. Now, anything to do with the financial is that it puts you into with their relationship.
yes,
You can get another partner. You can say, let me try and get some just to console. But you see, with financial, how do you get a replacement at that particular age? So it messed me a bit. I don't want to go into that story because it's still under DCI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's still running. I never stopped. It's still however long they will go, they will just. Now, another thing is that another thing that now contributed to I being in that particular position or situation or emotions, that the friends I really liked. I don't want to mention names because their families would still feel traumatized. There were friends who are very deep, and you are sitting with the friends. Then in the morning, you realize that the person committed suicide. They are dead. So you're asking yourself, like, what am I this bad that this guy could not even share with me? And then we make a follow-up, you realize that it's just a very petty thing. About a woman, about, I don't know, exams, I don't know what. Some petty thing that cannot even qualify you to harm yourself. Then another person again, another former high school friend also. Then I think it was so tough on me. Now, at that particular time, I didn't know actually that I was depressed, by the way. But I was finding myself, I just started hating almost everything, hating myself. You don't want to eat, you don't want to do anything. You want to sleep the whole day. You want to switch off all your phones. You want to leave all the WhatsApp groups. You don't want to go to the internet.
I think you actually did leave even your own group at some point.
Yeah. So you don't know that. You can't know that you're frustrated, but something is not making sense. Now, in this particular time, unlike in primary, this particular time, I don't think I went to an extent of maybe harming my life. But to me, I was like, I was brave enough to come out and say, hey guys, kuna vitu zina happen around me, but mi sielewi, kuna as make sense. I think this is an escalation of so many things, activities running my mind, no nini, I don't know. Mpaka zimenifika pa now, I'm crippled at a particular place, and I really have to get out of this.
Yes.
And guys actually sensed and say, no, this guy is not okay. Then they came, we talked, and some of the basics were done. Friends came and supported me to get out of that ditch. Then now that's when I said, they like me. I've been in that particular situation, and I've been lucky enough to come out and share. So how many people out there are going through terrible mess, and they're not able, or they don't have the courage to come out, and so people are taking their own lives because they don't want to. So what should be the take-home message? The take-home message should be, that's why I came up with the no quitting. That's how I came up with the no quitting online campaign. Basically to tell people that however life pushes you to the wall, don't quit.
Don't quit on life.
It's a terrible statement when you tell someone don't quit. Mtu amefika ameka 3-4 days. Hajakula, hajafanya. You cannot tell him that don't quit. It doesn't make sense to him. But now, the essence here is the don't quit is that don't just die hungry, and or just don't take your life when you can share with the next available person. There's no death in sharing. And one of the things why people don't want to come out and share what they are going through is because they fear people will, stigmatize them. People will, that's social stigma. People laugh at them, people mock them. Of course it happens. But now what do you lose when you share with someone? Out of 100 people, 8 of them are mocking you. Then 20 will come together and say, let's help this guy. Even if they help with them, they go and talk about you. Are you out of that problem or not? Which is better. So share, go out and watch out check. What a check for how long? Maybe when I went through that, people, talked a lot of their, political opponents, whatever, people talked a lot of shit. And by the way, funny enough, not funny, it's not funny, it's sad enough. One of the persons who mocked me, you're just a pathetic blogger, I don't know, go die, something like that. Then in that comment, I jokingly wrote down there and told him, bro, this thing is not meant for particular people. It can hit anyone. You, your sis, your cousin, your child, your wife, your mom. So don't be surprised that you'll even die earlier than me. 3-4 years later, I think that was last year, the guy committed suicide. Alienda kwa nyumba akaruka chini.
Whoa.
Yeah, in a county that I don't want to mention because I don't want people to know which story I'm talking about. But those who know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
They tried to coil the story, but it was suicide. So I went back to that comment. Then I liked that. Facebook has a very crazy tabia mbaya sana. If you post something like 2 years or 5 years ago, then you just like it reactivates the comments. So people started following and then they start sharing the comments, the screenshots. Na Wakajuaness aliambia kwa jamaa, unanicheka na hata usiangaa utakufa mbele yangu. Then you also dying about the some campaign that the some topic that I'm campaigning against. So basically, the moral lesson here is that and I like the people who came and supported me. The moral lesson here is that when you see someone in the mud or in mud, carrying their hand, asking for someone to pull them out of that, please go and help. Just pull them out. Don't go and then start saying, najua wewe sijui.
Don't push them.
Don't.
The mud,
do something, then go.
Yes.
They will never forget. Mimi, those are some of the things that I will never, however old I go, I get. So it's through that I turned those positives, those negatives into positives. I like turning negatives into positives. Very nice. And so how I came out is that I started that campaign trying to help people. By the way, I've helped so many people. Only that most of them don't want to come out, they don't because of ABCD.
Yes.
But
Because of the stigma, of course.
The stigma. I've helped so many people. I've talked to so many people. Sometimes using my own money to go travel to a different town or location, just talk to a guy, do some small shopping. Ya unga tu kitu tata 480 bob. That one can afford it to lose. And it's not even losing, saving. Sometimes mtu kikuwa nafikiria mingi na tena bado you on empty intestines, you can even think the worst. But ukiongea na mtu na at least ako fiti, they feel in a courage. There's true njaa tu inakuanga tuna something to eat. So we have helped so many people. And I've also got support from people who say mazee ukipata mtu anakuwa na shida na nini, just share with us. So unapata namba zao, they talk to them. So to that I think ilisaidia sana mimi, na nikasema fine, mimi at least I was lucky. I didn't really think about harming my life, at nimejinyonga, nimekufa sijui nini. There was just some incidents. What do I call it? A coincidence. Let me say a coincidence. I had written an article about a funeral service company here in town, launching a Mercedes that has Mercedes Benz. It has a lot of not Mercedes. It was a limo. Limousine.
Looks very pompous.
Better. So in those comments, people are not doing a lot of comments. Mimi bwana sisi fanya hivyo, a lot of reactions. Mtu akisema mimi nataka nikufe, nataka niweke kwa hiyo. So in one of those comments I was like, but if I would never help me in life, they don't put me in that. In fact, mimi nikikufa wacha tu wanizika tu local way, even on the same day, so that save that money for other thing. So people, I think, ran with that. And then during that particular time, I think my phone went offline. And I think people are calling me, I don't know what, mbona comment Wakajuaness hapo na simu zake zimeenda off. So ikawasen, make kwamba na hiyo siku ndio I was supposed to. So mimi namkata asubuhi, watu wanagonga mlango, my caretaker. Wakajuaness uko ndani? Niko ndani, na nini? Mimi niko na shower, So nyumba yangu, I think I'll come there. Ni shower iko karibu na niko tu hapo kwa shower. Uko fiti Sasa mwanzo shower alafu ufungue door. Ingia wasa wako kwa veranda bwana. So kama bwana watu wako na complain you've crypted some message on comments and then you went offline. Even my dad came to the house. Mimi hata siko aware even about that. So then pia kaonesha a small mistake about the internet sensitivity. A small mistake can broaden something,
sensationalize something. Yes.
But anyway, I was able to again come out. So kitu imenisaidia for me to be where I am is that I learned that one, what are the reasons that situations that put me into that particular scenario. One of them is trusting people so much and being very lenient to people, being the assistant God, trying to be the assistant God, the assistant Jesus. So
Deputy Jesus.
Mazi, I'm going to be brutal. You mess me, I mess you up.
Okay.
That's now the other side that people don't know me. I'm not the Wakajuaness that people used to know.
Okay.
Saizi maze, you mess me up maze, kaenda.
Okay.
Imenisaidia. Unaambia mtu boss, tunafanyia kazi, we are working with it or not. Kama si hivyo. So mtu anakajua hapo mseni kijaribu kummess.
The boundaries are clear.
Bwana sasa hivi venye tuko bwana, we have made friends bwana. We have seen friends, and the good and the bad ones.
So I've seen you do a lot of mobilizations, fundraisers. Umekuwa involved in a lot of advocacy programs. Zenye una push this or that, kama venye unasema the no quit campaign. So do you feel that the community also came to your rescue properly when you were on a bender and now you needed the help that you needed? Do you feel like that in that moment the community rallied around you properly?
I don't know whether you're trying to say community or friends. Those are two different things, right? Because if I were to explain...
Good clarification. So you see, the actions that you act, the when you are supporting, wewe hausupporting ati like it's just Joel. Yes, there are some actions of yours that go to friends, but at large, by and large, your actions go target the community. You hear there's someone who's sick, unafungua nini WhatsApp group, watu wanasaidiwa nini. So these are your actions towards the community at large. So I'm just like trying to feel like get your sense, sense if you feel that the community came to surround you equally, because some of us reached out, some of your friends tulikuja tukakaa nawe, but I'm just talking about the community at large. Did the community respond in kind around that time? Ama, what is your feeling about how the community responded when you were having this moment of yours?
Now, I don't think the community didn't do as much, maybe because of expectation. I've talked about, doing something, then expecting the same to happen to you. So if they did, then you can say around 10%.
Okay.
If I've given 100% or 80%, the support and encouragement, I think it came from just a section of around 10, 20.
The friends too, and the close people.
So it still narrows me back to friendship, not even community, because community is very broad.
That's that's a fair answer. That's a fair answer. So what is your number one mental hack that you would recommend to someone else who's going through such a situation? I'm diving at least more on this mental thing, because mental health thing, because I now, courtesy of the previous guest, I'm aware that last month was a mental awareness month. So it's actually quite important. I'm quite happy that we're having this discussion as a follow-up conversation. So that's why I'm digging a little bit more on it. So what is the mental health hack that you'd recommend, or you'd advise someone else who's in the pits and probably they don't know what to do or what to say or how to say it in the first place?
There is power in sharing.
There's power in sharing.
There's very power in sharing.
And it does not have to be even on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Find someone you can just
talk to anyone. Even the director, just talk to. You don't know. You see, there's something called social. Can you say social investment or social capital?
Yes.
You invest in social. You invest in friendship and something. When I have something and something is really messing me up, if I just share with you, I don't know whether you are my friend but I've seen you passing town. So bro, I think there's something that's not working, and I'm so down, Mazi.
Yeah.
And I think this could be my last day.
Okay.
That thing might catch the attention of that particular person you are sharing with, and then they feel like, what's your issue?
Yes.
Bro, you see, my wife has left with the kid. She has threatened to kill the kid. That's the kid I love. Where does she come from? Okay, I know someone from that area. Let me make a call. They go, they take the kid. They rescue the kid. They rescue the mother. Either she's arrested. This out of sharing, whether you like it or it, you are sharing with 100 people, but one person
might just be the person.
That's automatic, because God is not stupid. God is not stupid to have almost 50 billion people on this earth, or I don't know how many we are.
7 billion thereabout, yes.
Yeah, around 7-8 billion.
Yeah.
He's not so stupid. So
there has to be that one person who can come through.
Don't fear sharing.
Yes.
Share with the first person, doesn't come out, do the second. But the concrete point here is
share.
There's power in sharing. Share.
I love that.
You won't die.
That's powerful.
I shared, died.
All right. Thank you, man. It's been brave of you to share that. I thought about it, thought maybe I should not even ask, but I was like, coming from a mental awareness month, it will be a nice way to, especially, when is today, 31st?
31st.
Yes, so the month is actually not over, but by the time this episode airs, it will be over, but I just thought it will be a very nice way to close this mental awareness month, and what better way than to close the conversation with someone who's actually risen above it and survived to tell yes. So anyway, you are a political pundit. You dive, you dance with politicians. Okay, not really per se, not literally speaking. I'm speaking figuratively here. You write about them, you commentate about them. So you one of the first person I'm really excited to talk a little bit about politics. I know we're running out of time, but we'll just try at least to guzie kidogo, right? Yeah. So is there hope for Bungoma, my friend? As we are moving.
Hope for Bungoma what?
For Bungoma County, Bungoma Town, Bungoma County at large, yes. Is there hope? Because I ask this because one of the front runners right now is Didmas Baraza as And we brought back Mr. Lusaka even after an also stellar performance in his first term. We kicked out Wangamati, who had done some bit of this and that. So, in your analysis of you know a little bit more about our local politics than anyone else in this room. Do you think there's a hope for Bungoma? Venye tu uwanja imekaa? Ama what can you comment about that?
One, there is hope. I will put the function if. But if that if function comes in, then there's no hope. Let me explain. There's hope if we choose, I think, if we don't make the same mistakes. When I said we don't make the same mistakes, that we don't run on euphoria and elect people whom we have known, wamemwaga damu, wamefanya kila kitu, then we know their history. Yeah, even the officers they hold now, we know how much has gotten lost. And then these are the people who are saying that they are front runners. We've seen the murder stories trending on mainstream media. Investigative reports there about them, how justice was. So if we come up with those people, I think we are going to mess this county terribly, because I'm not saying maybe I'm supporting Wangamati or I'm supporting or I'm being biased, but let me just say, as a community, we also need to look at projection. So yeah. Looking at projection, let's see. Are we just going to be used to be? Let me use the word impose. Are we just going to remain people? Number two, we are imposing this particular idea on you. Then you vote, because someone who's imposing that is a big wig, so he's the big boss. So when they say go this way, you go this way.
So his decision overrides even that of the electorate.
That makes so. I want the people of Bungoma to just sit down and analyze each and every candidate. Don't, because if someone tells you vote for a particular, what has that person done to this community by themselves? So it doesn't make sense. So let people make their own. And if there's a political party, I don't hate Ford Kenya, but I criticize them. Ford Kenya has been here for so long, 50, almost 100 years, if I were to exaggerate. But what are the frauds? We are seeing, they're coming here with things like, Nzoia Sugar Companies, we are selling Nzoia Sugar Company, I don't know, for farmers to get. Is that the solution? How do you sell a company to someone that bought another company that's not operating? Because the same samurai that we see in that has purchased Nzoia Sugar Company, he actually purchased what do you call it? Ripe and pepper. It used to be called Webuye pan pepper. Is it working? Is that working? Is that moshing working? Now there's some person at Nzoia Sugar because you want farmers to. So can we have a voice? Number two, we are now third in government. What are we? You cannot tell me that upgrading. You cannot tell me that upgrading our hospital to level 6 is an achievement.
And has it been upgraded in facilities, or has it just been upgraded?
Now that's another question. Is it just in the news, or is it just something that we want to see? Number three, how are our roads? Because when Gachagua said that, when Gachagua said that there are 30% that we are supposed to get from the share, 30% share of the government. You know what 30% means? It means when you're having 100,000 NYS recruitment, then you are supposed to get 30,000 from Bungoma. When you're getting when the budget, national budgets, for example, this finance bill, the finance year, where we have a budget of, let's say, 10 trillion. We are supposed to have 3 trillion. Are we seeing it on the ground? No. Then these are the same people who want to come here and then start telling us, now vote for this particular person. Doesn't make sense. So Bungoma it has hope if it now decides to work with the history and now start embracing the new.
Yeah. The people who have come on the electoral
yes
on a merit basis, and we should look at their track record and vouch for their character.
Yes.
If they have a character that is worth putting in office.
That's what we need.
Also, what else? There's a bunch more questions I had there,
It's okay. Just
for
ask.
the engagement.
Just ask. I'm okay.
So when around the politics, let's keep to national. And do you think the Gen Z movement, do you think it will be a factor? You know, there's always kuna kuwa na factions during elections, the general elections. You know, like kuna kuwa na maybe these kuna na vuguvugu fulani, you know, that comes up every other election. So kama this previous one, you know, there was the hustler movement. So do you think the Gen Z movement will be a factor to not be underscored these coming elections? Or your own analysis or your own thoughts? Do you think?
For the first time, I think I'm happy that the Gen Z are going to have to play a very big role.
Yes.
And we were working. We were in deep slumber.
Right.
But we were working because we reached a time where most of this Gen Z, 21 years, 19 to 35 to 40 years, let me say just 40 years. Yeah. Pull them together. Mfika pale mazee umeka, you don't have jobs. Then when the government now decided to use the word fuck, I'm sorry for that. Yes. Hapo ndo mavijana walifika kumbe if we cannot speak, and you saw what happened. It caused chaos and yeah. So this time, the same Gen Z that have not been voting. See, there are so many. When you tell them go to take your ID card, they don't want. I'm very sure almost. Let me say that's 60% of the Gen Z and millennials combined. You may find that almost 60% don't even have IDs.
Yes.
And when you tell them go take an ID, they think it's for what? Mimi nimelelewa my single mom, nimelelewa na sijui nini, I will struggle to nitajisort tu. But until now you become an adult, you need to know how rent inalipwaje, how does the landlord not knocks on your door. Bosi barako leo nitara ngapi, leo nitara 3, mambo yangu iko sawa. Ndio hapo unaanza kujua kumbe mlango wewe unagongwa. Yeah. So imetutoa you know, it has awoken us. It has awoken the Gen Z, and trust me, Gen Z are going to register for ID cards. They're going to register for voting cards, and not just having a voting card. Go and vote. Even if you come from Butere, even if you come from Nabaholo, even if you come from Kibichori, look for 200 shillings to take you to the voting, or vote at your nearest polling station where you work, where you think you not have to spend a lot for you to vote. They are going to change. Yes. Number 2 is not just about the Gen Z. There's also another factor that people are downlooking. There's this medium income guys. I don't know how we call them in proper middle class size. Thank you. The MC, the middle class, that is. These are people who have not been voting. I mean, kona gari yangu bwana, why should I go and vote? Watch how I vote. Let them go and I will watch the news. You see, this time, huyu jamaa amekuja kuongea kwa mlango. Mazee tax mazee. Yeah, mazee leta kuja kwanza. Nyinyi ndio mkujange kuvote. Kuja mlipe tax. Terrible. So for the first time we are going to have the middle class voting, and it's going to make it's a very rich vote there. So you are going to see. So Gen Z, I think they are going to play a very huge role, and what we just need is organization, proper organization and leadership. I only have a challenge ya kusema kwamba we are leaderless, we are tribeless. Tribeless is okay. Because being Gen Z, I think it should also be called a tribe, the Gen Z tribe. But we should not say that we are leaderless. We cannot be leaderless, then you expect to get power. We need to organize ourselves and see what. Yes, have your own. We need to have leaders. In fact, we also need our own political party. It's in the constitution where we are okay.
Are you ever going to consider a political run yourself? You are a very vocal guy and you have a big grasp of politics.
Unfortunately, I've never thought of being a politician is hectic.
Yes.
I'm currently a personal assistant to one, and it's challenging. Maze the calls, kama sasa hivi nimezima hii simu, I'll be having almost 300 calls, 700 calls there, messages, WhatsApp, Twitter, Telegram, emails. So I don't want to be, mi napenda tu life ya kimaza job yangu, I go back to the house. And but now that's having the community mazaids. Kwangu, but for one day, you never know.
You're not rolling it out,
I'm not rolling it out. Anything can happen.
All right. Yeah, I would love to see you because you're a very idealistic person. Huh? I would love to see how, if trusted with the leadership role, how you would actually stand.
I know you'll print my posters here. You are rich.
Later, kazi, bro, later kazi.
Yes.
So, as we wind down, huh? What kind of 70-year-old do you picture yourself looking like? How is Wakajuaness at 70? How is your state of mind?
That's a question that I've actually tried to find it hard to answer, because even if you were to ask me, how will I look? The first question
Not
is that,
physically,
yeah,
mostly mentally. Like, what is your frame of mind? Yes.
will I be there? If I will be there, and God will have to say,
This situation, nimekupatia,
yes,
utafika.
ndafika.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah. Utafika.
The 70-year-old Wakajuaness is someone who has established his generation well.
Kuna kanaska kwa hii picture ama
My way. Not a nurse. Nurses.
see that?
By the way, Miss Chuki nurses. They play a very
Just to
integral
set the
role.
record straight.
Yeah, mimi sitaki bwana nienda wasiwa kwa kunitibu asema wewe na
Kitu kubweki tu kwa nyumba.
that's a I have a personal perception mzee. So,
kuna testimony ya Santa Mara huko. But I did my homework. Kuna story huko Santa Mara yenye najua kuna nurses stories out.
If we shall have another episode, man, I will wish to be here. Paka nikatembea na socks.
Tunawa socks kwa barabara jiandazi. Wakati wa COVID na watu wafai kutembea. Unaweza tupigia ka story kidogo hapa.
No, what happened? I used to date a lady, a nurse.
Yes.
But she was she was so nagging, bana. My Cabras darling. Very beautiful. Lakini very nagging. So nikaenda kwake bwana, unajua time ya COVID, hii time curfew ilikuwa saa 3.
Yes.
And now she had some issues, and a very petty issue. Why? Because I'm a blog. She knows that I'm a blog, so I'm supposed to be receiving so many calls. But see, there's sometimes you can't even save a call. You see, because there's no traffic of engagement and all that, so the phone is just there. So she accuses me of not receiving calls or not having people calling me. So it's like maybe I'm putting my phone on or something like that, or So ikaanza kwa story mingi sana. Then madam, sunyamaze mimi nilale. Hizi nao mimi nilikuwa nimeenda kulala kwake, niko kwangu. So nikamwambia mimi siwezi kaa kwa hii kelele. I want to survive. So let me go back to my kama uende. Mimi siende, nikachukua charger, simu, nini nyingine, jacket, nilikuwa na jackets nikavaa. Akaangaa huyu vile anajipenda. Unajua mimi trademark yangu navanga socks za white. Huyu vile anajipenda hivi, huyu hawezi tembea mikutupu. Kachukua viatu kwa chini ya kitanda. Mimi nikiamua nimeamua. So this is why I'm saying I'm brutal. Like nimefika pale nimekuwa like kama ni once let me go. Like I'm not going to tolerate some siwezi.
So kama kanyaga damu hivyo.
Kaona wewe apiti veranda. Maze Santa Mara rushupu kakuja hapo. Kulikuwa na hiyo police what do you call it, check roadblock. Pita hapo sasa ndio mimi nilikuwa na card. So one of the officers anaangalia anasema kwa je, sio unatoka wapi? Umepigwa. Hauna viatu, hauna nini? Akanipatia msawa pikoni anleta tao. So kitu yenye flick my mind ilikuwa this guy boda akaniambia mbona unatembea na viatu? Nikaanza kumwambia wanawake ni wajinga, ni wabaya sana. Nini kamaliza story kama no wonder this lady is calling. She has made almost 37 calls and messages. Babe, please come back. So boda aliambia Wakajuaness, bro nakwambia dem vile ako hivi saizi akona stress in case uamke asubuhi apatwa tu umewako barabara. She will be the last person to be itakuwa kwa hiyo in crime nasemanga last person seen or last seen with. And if she managed that one, she can even commit suicide in that house. So ionekana sasa wewe nawe ndio ulikuwa last seen na umetoroka. Imagine that worst case scenario. Mazi kama Kono sana make sense. Kumwambia bro, you turn. When banga found her on bed crying like evil too. Then we reconciled. just for that night. Kaito asubuhi socks zangu zikaoshwa hata sijui bado ziko huko. Anyway. So 70 years old, I see myself as someone who has established a good family, good generation, some investments, and someone who has inspired the community, the society, and different offsprings, and influential in terms of a positive influence, so that people can celebrate. I want my family to see that we have someone who cares for us, who can do anything to support the family, who can sacrifice a lot. And want my friends to know that we had a genuine friends, someone that we trusted a lot, and we celebrate him.
Yeah, right. That's really good.
Thank
you.
So,
One of the, so I'm going to ask you for your parting shot, and also if there is one piece of advice that you could give to 10-year-old Wakajuaness in class 6, 7, thereabout, going through all the hardship that you went through, what is the one piece of advice you'd give him? Because with the benefit of knowledge of the journey that you've come, and knowing very well that you actually kind of made it. What is the one piece of advice you'd give to a 10-year-old Wakajuaness? I'm Elvis Simiyu, and also what will be your parting shots?
okay.
Fans, your readers, and time lapses at large.
Thank you. One, to the 10-year-old young Wakajuaness is that, one, live your life. Don't compare yourself with someone else's life. You don't know how those people are brought up. You don't know what they have. I think using nimekuwa na challenge. One of my friends, see friends and we're not so close, but aliambia kitu kani hurt kidogo, kinai kuni hurt. It was like, we bwana, we cannot compete bwana. Mimi niko na gari, niko na nini, wewe you cannot compete bwana. You go find your life. Then but you are right, because we cannot compete because your parent has given you 9 acres of land, 9 acres of 9 acres, a parcel of, let's say 9 acres. The car you are driving is a donation from your dad. The SIM card he is using was registered in his father's name. He was given, he doesn't have even any other Airtel amount, akotuna SIM card moja. So literally, everything you own has been given to you. But what I have is something that I've hustled to look for. Mimi sijui kama siku moja nitamka asubuhi nisikie babangu amenitisha peninisha ama anasema kuja ujenge hapa. I don't know, because when you are born out of wedlock, kama umezaliwa huko nje, you don't expect anything. So you have to look for mine. Make sure I settle my mom. So I have a lot of load. So when you tell me we cannot fight, or we have to toshani, you are right. You see. So mentality yako, your maturity and my maturity is totally different. I'm looking at life in we now uko tu pale nimepewa hii kitu ya. So I will tell that kid, live your life. Mimi nilikuwa naishi, accept your life. Accept your nacho, don't live any other person's life. And still just if I allow me to go back to mental health. Challenge moja mental health ni kwamba we are having people who brag a lot on life on social media. Tumeenda sijui what. Watu inakuanga ngumu sana to come out and share, because when you come out and share, people will be like no jamaa sana endanga na Ivasha hizo maniniwa si akona do. So hii wasawana Ivasha hizi. So pia tusijeka kwa life yenye una exaggerate sana mpaka siku yenye unahitaji kitu watu wakusaidie, people will say so just maybe to add, mimi nakanga na politicians many times, the who and who ama governors nini kuna hiyo yasema nakupatia kwa job kidogo kwa kusustain fine, but you rarely see me taking photos of them. Why? Because what I went through when I went down and I was mentally drained, I don't want to go there again. I want a situation where when I tell people mazee hapa nimekwama, niko na msiba ama I'm not feeling okay, NHIF card yangu nini, sorry, sijui Shakira or something imekataa, sorry Sha imekataa, people can say oh fine, kama ni Wakajuaness, let's say yeah, but see you are posting yourself, so many people like the friend I told you alicommit suicide, alikuwa na hiyo perception mpaka sasa wakati alikuwa anahitaji usaidizi akashindwa na akaona tu the only thing. So tusijiweka kwa life sana, usijiweka kwa life yenye watu nadhani uko sawa na kumbe just be the you. Mimi huwa natembea tu, just see me in town, I don't have a car, I don't have lakini mimi hutembea tu and people wanajua Wakajuaness akikuja atashuka kwa pikipiki and I'm very comfortable, you see. So naambia mtu hii, and also to my fans and everything, don't exaggerate your life. It's good, let's live. Life is for the living. It's good to But don't mock people. Don't use your current status to mock other people. If you have managed to have something, then someone else doesn't have. Please allow them to be in their situation, but don't make them feel that they don't deserve to be in this life.
For sure.
Mm.
That's been an amazing conversation, Mr. Wakajuaness. I don't know kama hiyo ndio parting shot yako, umeshikanisha zote pamoja ama you having to invest.
Parting shot yangu, I will be softer.
Yes.
Hii imekuwa so much hard on life, but I want to appreciate each and every person. First of all, to my host, Joel, for coming up with this one. The time lapse is something that I really appreciate because Umesema also played a role in coming up with this switch from text to now visual. And seeing this kind of setup and the kind of I've been tracking on your page, on your YouTube channel. I've learned a lot. When you hosted Opash, you have hosted Uchuro, you've hosted Deborah. Yeah, you've hosted me, and I've learned a lot from there. Deborah had her own story, emotions and highs, lows and highs. Opash, the same. Uchuro, the same. There's this lady Jinake Mensumbua, Tuno. Yeah, Tuno. She gave a very, just in my space about mental health. So you are doing a brilliant job, and I want our fans to continue supporting the time lapse. Our lapses, please continue to share the links and keep on track on the page. When you're just idle, you just go through. You just read. Sometimes can do away with TikTok. Just go and listen to inspiration. Life is not about everything, movies, memes, and all that. Just watch something like whatever is going on a time lapse. And then to my fans, thank you for the support. I've been low, I've been high, and it's because of you. You've supported me. I've been consistent up to this particular time, and I promise that I will continue to be with you. Issues with mental health, have anything, please drop me a call, 0711-611-347. If I don't call, do a text, brief. And everything that we discuss about mental health remains private, secret, until you give me permission to share it. Otherwise, if you have come to me for help, why should I publish it all over? Otherwise, thank you so much, and may God bless you. And of course, the production team, the director, Uchuro, and my good friends, Jamujua Jina, but Rama. Yeah, thanks so much, Flash.
Thank you for sharing your story. It has been, I'm sure it's going to touch.
I'm going to get married anytime soon. It will be on Thursday, but I don't know which Thursday. But not a nurse. No.
So, getting married at Thursday near you.
We can't specify. Yes. But welcome. We're planning.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming.
Niko na kamrembo hapo as you continue to thank me for having some good kamrembo.